All right, here we go. Wack100, welcome back to VladTV.
Man, what's up, Vlad? You've been having a lot going on. I see you shaking it up and mixing it up, pulling new personalities. You testing here, you testing there. You doing what Vlad do. You know, you the go to this. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and we're gonna address some of that in a separate clip. I'm gonna get in front of the camera and address that. That's probably coming out around the same time. But this is about you right now and what's happening. And you know where we're starting with this, right?
Well, I don't know, bro.
You don't know? What's the biggest news in hip hop right now in your world?
I mean, you mean to the world?
Yes.
Probably Gucci.
There you go.
Yeah, Gucci.
There we go.
And, you know, it's not big news to me, but we talking about Gucci?
Yeah, and the Pooh Shiesty situation.
Oh, okay, all right.
Right. Pooh Shiesty is potentially facing life in prison.
I think it'd be smart here end up with 15, 20.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Huh?
That's a lot. 15, 20?
Yeah.
For a 26-year-old? That's a lot.
But I mean, you know,
say goodbye to your 30s.
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of us that come up doing it the way he looks like he wants to do it, we just did it at a younger age. We started at 12, 14, 2 here, 5 here, 4 here, that accumulated. But it seems to me like, hey, listen, that's what he wants. That's what he's looking for.
Look, the crazy part for me is he sat in a jail cell for 3 years trying to figure out how to get out of this contract. And this was the best solution he found, kidnapping. This is the best he can come up with.
But that, okay, it's like a math equation. 3 times 3 equals 10. No, that don't. 2 times 8 is 17. You know that. After the equal sign, if it's not the right answer, you cannot carry it. The math's not adding up.
It's not mathing.
I mean, like, okay, let's say it worked out to a T. Gucci Mane didn't say nothing, nobody says nothing. Me and you know, Vlad, when contracts like that start generating, it starts and it ends with an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Was you gonna go to Atlantic and say, here goes my contract, I'm out of contract with Gucci, and I'm out with you? Atlantic gonna say, well, we did a deal with Gucci for 4 albums. Gucci did a deal with you for 4 albums. You turned in 1, therefore we are still owed 3.
Well, hold on. Now, I don't know what the contract looks like, but I was under the impression that what happened was he was getting out of the contract with Gucci, but still staying with Atlantic.
No.
That's what I thought. That's what I assumed.
When those situations happen like that, right, they don't usually let you out of the contract. What they do is they let you just deal direct with the label.
That's what I thought. I thought that he was basically cutting out the middleman and going directly to the label by having Gucci sign this off.
Well, what you fight for, and Game did it in his era, you fight for the creative control. That's the best you're gonna get. Meaning that I don't have to wait for Gucci to tell you guys what I'm gonna do, what I'm not gonna do, what albums I'm gonna turn in, what videos I'm gonna shoot. Gucci still, whatever his percentage is, it's still gonna flow the same way. He's just stepped out of the position of the creative control position, and they're communicating not Atlantic Gucci Pooh, it's Atlantic Pooh Shiesty.
Well, but I thought it was a money situation also. Primarily.
No, well, the money's already been cut. See,
well, what about for all the future money?
Future money only happens when the next album is initiated. So
right. Well, I mean, although the song FDO was
whatever his royalty splits are, whatever that is, that's there. That's what's been out. But if he got a 4-album deal, you know, and I'm just throwing numbers out there. Let's say, you know, I'm gonna give you a 4-album deal for $2 million. So he's pretty much telling him, I'm gonna give you $500,000 an album, plus let's say he had a 50-50 split, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just say that Gucci gave Pooh Shiesty a $2 million deal, right? And let's say he did a $3 million deal between Atlantic and 1017. So it comes to Pooh, so I got $2 million for you, 4 albums, $500,000 an album, 50-50 split. So okay, when he ready to do his first album, Gucci's probably gonna give him $250,000 up front. When he turns in the album, when he turns in, you know, the album, everything, he gives them another $250,000. He turns that into Atlantic. They put it out. And remember, that first $3 million that comes in, ain't nothing going to 1017. It's staying with Atlantic, right? So let's say $4 million comes in. First album he does great, $4 million of revenue. Okay, at that point, Atlantic keeps his $3 million, right? He got a 50-50 with Atlantic, 1017. They send $500,000 to Gucci. Gucci has a 50-50 split with Pooh Shiesty. He sends $250,000 to him. But what's great about this now is the only additional budget that may be added is future marketing and promotion. They didn't recoup the whole thing. So now they rolling in the paint. Atlantic is not gonna go against Gucci Mane. It wasn't gonna happen. So I don't know, like, if it could have led to something, I could have said, well, if the kid had balls, but you pretty much, you walked in the bank and said, open the vault and close it. It was no win situation, Vlad. Like, it was not,
okay,
it was no way possible.
I also heard a rumor that Pooh Shiesty wanted to sign with Yo Gotti, and there was a bigger deal on the table, and Gucci was standing in the way of that, or something.
Okay, listen, we haven't heard Yo Gotti confirm that. We haven't heard Pooh Shiesty say, but let's just say that's the case. What's the number they keep saying? 15 million.
15 million, yeah.
Okay, this is what he should have did. When Gucci went down to the scene, hey, bro, let me buy myself out of the deal with you. I got $5 million for you. Right? The idea deal for Gucci, if it was me, I need $5 million in an override on 2 albums. I get out the way. Now, at that point in time, when Gucci steps out the way, Yo Gotti sits in his seat. Well, the Atlantic's deal is Atlantic's deal. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he just switched up the middleman.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that happened, right? If that was to happen, what I think happened, because them saying what they saying, they trying to take Yo Gotti and like, Yo Gotti put him up to a no. Yo Gotti probably said what any of us have said to artists. If you can get out your situation, I got something for you. Now, Pooh Shiesty the one took that.
Literally.
Literally. Because, but what I'm hearing, what we read, Gucci showed up. Well, no, Gucci didn't show up. Roderick showed up to the studio.
Yeah.
And I asked him, hey, what is it, let's get the business out the way and let's go to work. And dude was like, I need my masters back. I want out the deal. And Roderick simply said, I can't do that. And then that's when all the other things started to occur. Now, the reason why I'm saying Roderick is because 1017 is a corporate entity. He got a call from his employee that he wanted to meet and go over some business and work. Can he book some studio time? And Roderick did that, took a flight, brought his camera guy, his one security, his engineer, and his best friend.
He had 2 security. One stayed in the car, and the other one went upstairs.
Okay. So
stayed in the hallway. Yeah.
And now, you've been around, Vlad. We both know. Pooh Shiesty wouldn't have never tried that with Gucci Mane.
With pregnant Gucci Mane.
Gucci, he wouldn't have tried that.
Right, but pregnant Gucci, that was the,
He wouldn't have tried that.
That was the most dangerous version of him.
His whole surroundings say that wouldn't be smart. It's going to be some violence, right?
Right, because pregnant Gucci Mane would have came in like 20 deep.
20, 30, 40
zone
deep,
6 dudes.
on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Roderick shows up thinking he's coming in with his, you know what I mean? And the things happen. Now, I've been privy to some information.
Okay.
And I've made Pooh Shiesty's attorney look like a damn fool once prior, where he was trying me with some paperwork, and I put the paperwork up. This dude said they went to Staples or whatever to print out
lyrics.
Mm-hmm. Now, we know and understand there is a footprint whenever you're dealing with anything that has anything to do with the computer, a drive. So This guy puts him at this location because he has an ankle monitor. So you know what the feds do? They go back to the location.
They subpoena.
They access the cameras.
Subpoena stations.
Oh, who was that? Who was the cashier at checkout 2? Who was the customer service agent? Right, we need to speak to them. Do you remember the call this day? Yes, I do. What were you asked for? We were asked for this. Can you log in, because all of them have their ID, can you log in and show us what they had printed versus what they paid for? No problem. They got the contract. Ain't no lyrics.
Oh, so it was a contract. So
they got the contract.
The lawyer just lied about that part?
That's exclusive.
Wow.
They got the contract.
Wow.
Not only do they got the contract, but one of the dudes is playing dirty ball already. One of the dudes got caught with a whole lot of artillery and ain't said nothing. Ain't said a word. Now, what do you think gonna happen with this dude who has no attorney? Only 3 of them got legal.
There's 9 of them. There's 9 of them.
Pooh Shiesty, his father,
and Big 30.
And
I interviewed Big 30's lawyer.
I seen that.
Yeah.
I listened to that on the way to No Jumper a couple weeks ago. They didn't even know it was out. I had to tell academics it was out. I sent it to him. You got 6 cats sitting in there.
Well, there's 9 total. But 6 without attorneys.
Yeah, 6 without attorneys.
Yeah.
One of them got caught hot. They ain't said nothing. The baby mamas, they about to evict us. You ain't even got an attorney. You lost your job. You stupid. And they coming in telling them, we'll give you 12 months in a day. Just let us know y'all had a meeting before you went in there. You know you looking at 20. You know you looking at 30. How old are you? 23? You looking at 7 more years than you've been living. Just let us know you drove the car across state line. That's it. We going to sending you to Kent, Snoopy, Sheridan up there. It's not even a gate. These people walk out and go to Taco Bell and get back before count. This is a fact. Now, do you
That
really,
sounds pretty good.
No, this is a fact. Ask Reggie. Reggie will tell you.
He went to one of those?
Yeah, definitely. Ask him, he'll tell you. He used to watch. He told me, like, yo, Wack, you just go to Popeyes, come back. Right? So, do you think they're going to sit in the pocket and they have no legal defense? You're letting them know out the gate. See, this is why you should move. If you're moving like that, don't move with a team that you can't take care of if the time comes.
These guys actually posted the stolen items on social media. Now, of course, Big 30's lawyer said, well, we don't know that that's the same thing. Lots of people have Rolex watches. Lots of people have 1017 chains.
I can't comment on what they posted on their Instagram page. I can't comment about whether they own Rolexes or whether they had a 1017 chain through Pooh Shiesty or Gucci Mane or somebody else affiliated with the label. And again, it still goes back to how do we corroborate the facts that are in that complaint? You corroborate those facts with evidence. And from what has been testified to at this point, there's been no physical evidence that corroborates the things that you're saying happened and occurred on that day.
But the timing of it is very, very special.
This is what happens when you're sitting in front of the jury. You're right. Lots of people, can you show us proof of where you got yours from?
There you go. There you go. Because in the paperwork, the white cameraman guy showed proof of buying that particular watch.
Can you show now? See, this is what my people or the street people, right? Their common sense is kind of blurred. Okay, this guy, the owner, and those of us that have Rolexes, we keep our paperwork and we keep the box.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So he can show you these things.
Yes.
And it's going to be exactly that watch. Okay, sir, can you show us where you purchased this? Right?
Oh, I got it from a friend. Okay, let's get the friend over here.
Not only that, they got the phone.
Yeah.
They tried to smash the phone. Again, Vlad, I take your phone and say, oh, all Vlad's contacts and exclusive footage is in here. Smash. I took it for, what you gonna go do?
Go to iCloud.
Go loud.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't get and understand. And I met Pooh one time in Simi Valley. I went out there and he seen, you know, I could tell he was with it, but even then he was, you know, he had $300,000 cash in a duffel bag with some house slippers.
How'd you know he had $300,000 in cash?
He showed it to me.
He showed you $300,000 cash?
One dude with him. I said, yo, bro, how you get to the airport? He said, shit, we slid through, bro. We had some clothes on the top, we slid through. This was in Simi Valley. I was there with, he was doing a song with somebody, was E1 was involved or whatever. And I told him, I said, yo, bro, you shouldn't be moving like that. They could take that from one. Two, you out here in LA, you got house slippers. You know what I'm saying? I said, a lot of these people on these sets, you know, they be tied to things. But I could see it in his eyes that he was kind of like, I'm not calling, I don't want to call him a crash dummy. He was Malcolm before the Nation of Islam got a hold of it. He was a soldier with no direction that had a warrior mentality. Bro, you sat in the feds for 3.5 years, and you come up with the ankle monitor on, bro. He has no control of his team because I'm hearing he told them, don't do that. If he would have kept it isolated in that room with Gucci, it wouldn't be as bad today.
Right, because, you know, 1090J pointed this out. If his goal was to change the contract, why did he then rob Gucci? And then let all his guys rob everyone outside?
Rob and assault and all this.
Nothing makes sense to me in that situation. It just seems like a crash out. If the plan was to get him to sign a piece of paper, why are you taking his earrings off his ears? Why are you taking his wedding ring? Why are you taking his watch?
They were choking him out. One of them was threatening to kill the other guy if he kept moving. Like this turned into the worst possible situation.
Vlad, listen, bro, listen. This is what I'm saying. So once you did, if he'd have kept it in there, then that's a different thing. But now when you took it there, you know, at that point in time, people like Wack, you know, this ain't right. This ain't the ways of the streets. I don't believe Gucci went there to do street business. And I keep telling people, hey, bro, people change, people evolve. You know what I mean? You can't expect a person to deal with something today that maybe he would have dealt with 10, 15 years ago differently. You just can't. And now that's on you. You know, you was a bad judgment of character. You know what I mean? Some situations, I tell people, I've told people this, hey, look, bro, that's not that serious. And we're dealing with this certain individual. If you're not gonna go all the way, if you think you're gonna pop up over here, get to drop, and 5 of y'all beat him up and let him live, by the time you get home, somebody real close to you gonna get touched. And it's not that serious to unalive him, so leave it alone. Like, you have to be a great judgment of character and know who you're dealing with. Vlad, once we start building and you start to understand Wack, you knew exactly who you were dealing with. You get what I'm saying? Okay, I know this dude now is a friend, to a point that if Wack see me in public, Vlad, last time I saw you in Miami, I kept him on you. Soon as I looked at your wrist, hey, y'all too, stay on him. You ain't say, you ain't asked me nothing, I didn't tell you nothing.
I have my own security though, by the way.
That's great. God damn it.
Just so people know.
Listen, no. The whole
I wasn't slipping that day.
The whole building was full of security.
Right.
But when I see Vlad, I just saw Vlad. I didn't see the people I'm used to seeing with you. My man got the Richard on the wrist.
Right.
So automatically, right, whatever with me is with you. Hey, yo, y'all stay on Vlad, right? I don't know what people be thinking. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta know who you dealing with, bro. You can't, just cause you are living this imaginary New Jack City, American me, American gangster thing in your head. Music is supposed to be entertainment. Because if these artists was really doing what they said they was doing in real life, they incriminating themselves. And I will say this era artist versus the old era artists, Ice Cube would tell you he started this gangster shit. Never seen a substation. He meaning the style of gangster rap. kind of like a street reporter on what goes on, not to say he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The artists today, they're really doing what they talking about. Bro, listen to the...
Well.
They just killed the dude around the corner named AJ. In 7 minutes, it's on Instagram. I'm smoking on AJ. Caught you slipping on 79th. It didn't go your way. The white sheets on 79th.
Right. But can't you say that pregnant Gucci kind of started this?
Oh, definitely. But back then, guess what? Gucci was really doing what he said he was doing. No,
exactly.
Bro was burnt out. He was really doing it. Now, you watched the Gucci Mane Breakfast Club interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before he answered the question, he looked for confirmation from his wife. And when she didn't want him to answer, he sat there and smiled. Is that the Gucci on the music, the one we knew living out the music that we know? Hell no. That is Roderick. Gucci Mane is now the entertainer when it's time for him to hit the stage. Even when he does his Instagram, like when he's like talking about, I want to sign artists, I got $1 million. It's not even the same pregnant Gucci. What did he call it? Baller bellies. Remember that era?
Yeah.
It's not the baller berry Gucci. The delivery is not that Gucci. It's like, okay, this dude got a label. He's looking to attract some talent. It's different, and I'm gonna be real. He's comfortable within his skin. Do I think he's going to cooperate directly with the federal government? I don't think so.
Well, he already has.
No, he cooperated with Dallas PD.
Right. He's made statements.
With Dallas PD.
And
with Dallas PD.
But he has put out a song basically laying out the situation, which is now evidence in the trial. No, come on now. That's not going to be evidence?
Vlad, you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. If I gave you the book, The Color Purple, and you read the book, and you watched the movie, you're going to say the movie came from the book. If you listen to the song, it's all the statements that was given to the Dallas PD. It's every statement that was given to Dallas PD is in the song.
There's more to it. He said sign under duress. You see what I'm saying? That was not in the Dallas PD statement.
Yo, he said, no, wait, hold
that
on.
word was not in there, duress. So he's already
I think he might have got that one from me, because I was the one pumping the duress thing. But he did say, watch this, after they put the gun to his head and he signed it, he showed his father, and his father said what? Make him date it.
Right.
So he already referenced the situation with the contract went down in the statement. So when I'm listening to the music, the song, I told Gucci, listen, he messed up one place, bro. I'm gonna tell you one place he messed up, and I'm so pissed off. You wanna know what pisses me off about how we did this song for real?
Okay.
Is it wasn't a single to the Pooh Shiesty album, god damn it. That song should have been a single to the Pooh Shiesty album. That's what should have been the driver. That's it, Gucci. Next time, bro, think this out. You should have put that. That was the lead single to Pooh Shiesty's second album. You'd have cleaned up.
Look at the line, though.
I'd have called it Shiesty No More.
Pressure on my chest, but I still ain't pressed. Pen to the paper, but it's under duress. Ladies and gentlemen, Exhibit 4.
No, but before that, he already gave a written statement.
Right. Read between the lines, I don't settle for less.
He already gave a written statement to Dallas PD. Roderick gave a written statement to Dallas PD. Gucci Mane performed the song, The Entertainer, right? So what I'm saying is the song is pretty much, the statement was the blueprint. What happened first, the statement or the song?
So I actually didn't even read it back. I realized there's more to it. He said, N-word set up the play like Suge Knight did with Dre. He's talking about how Suge Knight made Eazy-E sign it off, but I ain't Eazy-E, and this ain't back in the day.
Straight up. I ain't dealing with it in the street.
He's literally laying out the whole situation in a song, and you're going to have a jury intelligent enough to understand that. So here you go. Now, do you think Gucci will actually get on the stand and say that Pooh Shiesty put a gun to the back of my head and made me sign?
I think everything Gucci was gonna do, he already's done. Because he doesn't have to cooperate with the federal government. You got 3 guys, including an off-duty or retired police officer, whichever one he is, whatever one it reads credible, right, that's gonna get on that stand.
Right, that's considered expert testimony because it's a police officer.
He got 3 guys that's gonna get on that stand. They got the document from Staples. And I'm gonna be real. My people may not like this. I have yet to see, even amongst the Black Panther Party, 9 black street dudes and nobody goes bad. The Hells Angels did it, but that's a different structure. And they had David Kenner on them. And you know what the Hells Angels as an organization did? Made sure they had the best attorneys.
Right.
They took care of their families while they were in there. You show me a movement where it was a group of black individuals from the streets and nobody went bad. All it takes is one.
Oh, yeah. One person who's actually involved, one of the 9, gives the entire story, everybody's cooked. All you need is one person.
Black.
One person.
That's all you need.
And once they get him, then they're going to pressure everyone else to cooperate also. So then basically it's going to fall apart.
Lord forbid the one that goes bad ain't one of those. Because if he one of those.
What do you mean one of those?
One of those they look up to, they going to be like, well, shit, he did it. I'm doing what he do.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, they will follow the leader.
Well, you claim that Pooh Shiesty's dad's been an informant since 2009.
I don't claim nothing. We are the exposers.
Okay.
We have issued documentation. 2009, he got a 5K1. He's a rat. Straight up. We got the documentation.
What was that over?
I don't know. I have a bunch of drug deals, robbed a bunch of stuff, and they dropped a bunch of cases, and it's in there. Anytime you see a safety valve, 5K1, or any of that type of stuff, that is deliberately, you are a rat. You're telling the whole system you are a rat. Now, I strategically dropped it right with Gucci, when Roderick's paperwork dropped. You know, Vlad, I'm a good friend. I'm an even worse enemy, but I'm a great friend. I mean, I had to, you know, it was too much Gucci chatter going on. You know what I'm saying? Without them going to the store.
Well, lawyer Jasmine Mines, she actually sent me all the counts that they're facing. It's 20 counts.
Lawyer Jasmine Mines.
Yeah. Count 1, conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Count 2, kidnapping of RD. That's Gucci.
Roderick.
3 is kidnapping of MM. I believe that's the cameraman. And count 4, kidnapping of BP. That's Gucci's friend. Then count 5 is Hobbs Act conspiracy. Count 6, Hobbs Act robbery of RD. Robbery. 7 is Hobbs Act robbery of MM. 8 is Hobbs Act robbery of BP. Count 9, which is 924C, Williams Jr., which is Pooh Shiesty in the recording room. That's gun possession in relation to or furtherance of violent crimes. So he's got that gun case. 924C, Williams Jr., control room egress. So I guess in multiple locations they're charging him with a similar crime. And then 924s for everybody else, right? That's gun possession in relation to a further crime. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so Wright, Glover, Gibson, Johnson, McDaniel, Rogers, and Waters are all catching the 924. And then there is a count 19, felon in possession, Williams Jr., and count 20, felon in possession for Glover, which I believe is Big 30?
Big 30.
Yeah.
Now, what's the worst part about this crime, this case for Pooh Shiesty? It's the same MO as his controlling case. Call me Rob. The case he just went to the feds for, it's the same structure.
Right.
It's no different than a bank robber getting out, robbing another bank. So now when it comes down to their federal guidelines on how they pass out time, all that works against you. And he did this while he was still legally in custody.
Right, because he had an ankle monitor on. In fact, right before the robbery, he called his PO and she said, "You are not allowed out on rec time, get back home." And instead of going back home, oh, you know that part? That's in the paperwork.
Also, he didn't have clearance to go?
He didn't have clearance. He called her and she said, no, you do not have outside time. Go back to your home location. And instead of doing that, he did this. With an ankle monitor on the whole time.
This how you know they like airheaded. Why are you at Staples? You got 8 other people. Everywhere you go, they can pinpoint you as, right? He's put himself at these locations. He never go to Staples, they never know Staples is involved.
Here's my theory. If Pooh Shiesty had just met with Gucci one-on-one in a private room, pulled out a gun and made him sign, and then walked out of the room with no robbery, there was a chance that Gucci would have just not cooperated and not reported it, taken that L and said, look, he got me. I'm still Mr. Anti-Snitch. Because look, there's a video on VladTV from 20 years ago. It was before VladTV actually launched with Gucci saying, and we'll play the video, I'd rather die than snitch.
Talk about this situation with the stop snitching. Give us your feelings about snitching, what Cameron said, things like that.
I'm gonna tell you, like, straight up, like, you can research this on Gucci or whatever, but like, I ain't never snitched on nobody. There ain't a lot of people come to me with that in my whole life since I was a little boy. You know what I'm saying? When I forget a lot of those sometimes say, I have never snitched on nobody. I never wrote a statement on one, and I never will. That's how I feel. I'm a true G. I never snitch on a nigga.
Now, is it any situation that you can see yourself that you would talk to the police about a situation?
I don't talk. I don't do that. Where we from, we won't do that. For real. This East Atlanta Zone 6, niggas I fuck with my crew won't do that. We won't snitch on niggas. We stand down for ourselves. Like, if I gotta go, I'm gonna go. I done went before. I don't want to snitch on a nigga to save nobody's life, not even my own. I die.
That's Gucci 20 years ago.
Right.
That's Gucci pre-wife, pre-kids, pre-leaving Atlanta, going to Florida, interstate. Gucci comes outside, he hears crickets, it's green grass. It's not the hustle and bustle.
Right. But what I'm saying is I think Pooh thought that Gucci would act that way because of this image that he's always portrayed. And Gucci, post-wife, post-kids, post-getting off drugs, still got on that Versus stage with Jeezy and said, I'm smoking on a Pookie pack.
He did what?
He got on that stage.
He got on what? That's an alley? That's a park?
No, it's a stage.
It was a stage, right?
Right.
And it was on what platform?
Versus.
That's a prison yard?
No.
That's business.
Yeah.
It's entertainment.
Yeah.
See, this what I'm trying to boy, if I really want to just tell stories on some of these artists that I know, the shit they do on stage versus what's really in real life, nobody says nothing about Denzel when he gets on camera and becomes a crooked cop or a killer. Nobody.
Denzel doesn't got a body.
No,
like
what I'm
Gucci
saying
does.
is
Denzel wasn't selling drugs like Gucci was.
Are movies not entertainment?
They are.
Okay, so when the camera's on, what's going on?
I'm just saying Gucci portrayed himself to still be on that bullshit.
Listen,
after
man,
he got married and cleaned
and
up
guess
and all
what?
that.
What did his wife say about that? I was totally against him doing that, saying that.
But he still did it.
He still did it. It was just work. Nothing happened.
No.
He didn't jump off stage and go attack the dude.
Right.
Right? So what I'm saying is you have to know who Suge Knight. When Suge Knight did his first bid, Suge Knight went to the county jail, demanded he went to the blood module. I ain't staying up here. I want to go main line, right? Went to mainline penitentiaries, walked the yards with an iron fist. This time, 10, 15 years later, probably longer than that, 20 years later, right? Mm-hmm. Suge Knight goes to prison, right? He stays high power. I get the call from the homie from Centerview. He said, Wack, Suge Knight at reception, Donovan, what we doing? I said, y'all receive him, make sure he's straight, keep everybody off of him. Now, at the time, I didn't know he was doing some backdoor shit. So when the homie sent word back, hey, bro, we talked to Wack. This is what he telling us. We waiting for you to get to the yard. Suge Knight with the classification, know what he did? PC. Different guy.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, hey, I don't know what's going on. It's a setup. I ain't got the money to probably take care of people. You know, I'm a little ill. You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. I'd have been knocked out 2, 3, 4 times and shit. The world didn't seen it, right? Maybe people don't respect me the same. He went to a PC yard, right? So what I'm saying is, trust me, bro, and I keep telling the streets, Troy Ave was ahead of us. This shit is a myth. What we thought it was is not anymore. They're gonna tell, bro. People are not gonna play the game your way. What Gucci said is, I'm not playing the game your way. He ain't got his jury insured, made sure that contract, although Atlantic wasn't gonna acknowledge it, right? It was voided because of the duress. And guess what? I guarantee you, Gucci Mane does not take that stand. And he doesn't have to. They already telling you he ain't cooperating, he ain't talked to us. He gave the Dallas PD their report. And I don't think they need it, because the other ones gonna cooperate. Now people saying, Wack, Gucci could tell his team to stand down. He probably could, but that's not his obligation. that doesn't work against him.
Yeah. Well, and they've all given statements at this point.
Yeah,
They've all given statements.
Both. They went to the federal government, gave a statement too.
Yeah.
They in full cooperation.
Full cooperation.
And that's their right.
Right.
See, in a situation like that, if you're gonna do all that, you can't leave nobody around. So it's not worth it. Whatever you're getting out of there, the earrings, some jewelry, is not worth life in prison. So why do it? If you ain't gonna go all the way, it's not worth it either way, to leave him alive, to unalive him. So why do it? You get what I'm saying? Now, the dad, he's always kind of hinted to me like, yo, I'll be like, yo, bro, you don't talk to your son, calm him down. Oh man, you know, he a spin off from me. He stopped answering my calls. Won't fuck with me. So the dad was kind of like leery that his son would stop fucking with him. Now, it was crazy. I bet his dad probably wished. And I ain't counting his dad out. His dad may pull a, what's that dude? K-Sue or whatever, remember?
K-Sue's dad?
Yeah, this might be K-Sue dad
Yeah.
part 2.
Yeah, it might be.
This dude be 50 years old in December. He turns 50 this year, right? So, you know, 20 or 30 to him was a death sentence.
Yeah, it's life, essentially.
And he already knows there's no more Pooh Shiesty run.
Oh, yeah, that's over.
As an artist,
Yeah,
that's
no,
over.
no, that's over. Yeah,
You
there's
know-
no way he's beating this.
Yeah, dude could bust a move, find out where his lost aunt lived up in North Dakota. Nah, Flacco up there, Flacco exposing. Maine, and lay low. 'Cause I wouldn't be surprised. The dad is already telling on himself. Did you see those statements? He got in the back of the squad car
And said what?
and started telling the feds, y'all knew y'all was coming. You know, my inside people told me y'all was already on us. So I kind of expected y'all. I knew this was coming. So when he went for his bail hearing, they used that against him. Yeah, you know the exposers keep all the paperwork.
Wow.
They used that against him and said, well, this guy has access to inside information or some type of technology that lets him know how we're operating when we're moving. Therefore, he could be a flight risk because if we let him, it's all.
Yeah.
But he don't know how to shut the fuck up with them people because in 2009, he already gave them a bunch of information. Now, my question to you is, we watched Gunna, what he did. He got bigger. 6ix9ine's fan base is there. I think it affected Thug. I don't even think it affected Thug. I think Thug waiting too long to drop the music affected him.
Well, he's dropped music, but people weren't feeling it.
No, Thug come home like October, November.
Wait, Young Thug?
Yeah, but he didn't. I remember saying if he don't let nothing go before Christmas, his ass in trouble. By the time he dropped that album, bro, it was kind of 5-6 months later, right? Do you think this will affect the Gucci followers, the people that's into Gucci's music?
Well, I don't think it matters. Gucci's a catalog artist at this point. Gucci's no longer in the charts. He's not a J. Cole. He's not a Kendrick. He's not a Pooh Shiesty. Someone who's coming out with new music that people are checking for. This is the Gucci that's performing his older hits. If he's being asked to perform somewhere, like at that football game that he just performed at.
What was that, a football game or a
Birmingham.
soccer game?
I think it was Birmingham. It was a football game. Yeah.
How did they receive it?
I think it was mostly white people, and they're all like, "Yeah, it's Gucci." Woo. We like ice cream
I'm gonna be
too.
real. Listen, I'm gonna be real.
That's what it looked like in the
Me and
video.
you both know, in order to be a fan of Gucci's music, you had to really be his music was always real slow motion to me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you just had to be into that type of music. Now, Waka Flocka, I see going crazy.
Yeah.
And I got mixed emotions because without Gucci, I don't think it would have been a Waka.
That's true.
I don't even remember what their conflict was. I don't know if it was some contractual situation. I don't remember, but I see him saying, I warned y'all, I told y'all. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Gucci did something to violate it. I don't know. I don't know if they had a serious beef. I don't really recall. But I was kind of like, damn, that's a little unfortunate that I'm never going at the people that played a part in my rise. I'm not doing it.
Well, I looked it up real quick while you're talking. There was a money dispute. There was some management drama. Waka's mom got involved with it and thought that things were not being handled properly. Waka wanted independence. Gucci wanted him to still be part of the label. And yeah, ultimately,
but it wasn't
Gucci,
no blood.
Gucci went on that Twitter rant in 2013. I think Waka was thrown into that.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah,
That's
there you go.
that's the Nicki Minaj and all that type of rant.
All that shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now,
Then
see-
he got locked up shortly after
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Pooh Shiesty would have went playing with him. That Gucci?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
No.
No.
It would have been a problem.
Yeah.
You know, he went playing with a dude that's like that. He not into that. I can hear his wife. So you gonna take a chance and leaving us out here instead of your employees? This is a company. This is a business. Your employees has already made reports. Why haven't you filed your report? You don't have to. You're supposed to be loyal to us, not the street. You're loyal to the streets. You're loyal to the fact. I can hear it.
Well, I had Freeway Ricky on my show recently.
Mm-hmm.
There was a clip that came out that talked about you. Did you see it?
Stirred up a big mess.
What do you mean?
Everybody in Hoover Hood went crazy.
How so?
Man, one dude called me and he said, Rick, I just got out of prison. Don't make me go back. And I was like, huh? He was like, if that dude do anything to you or say anything else to you, boom.
Okay, well, whoever you are that just got out of prison, you should be back or you should be over there shot back because I definitely released the paperwork. And I don't know no Hoover, me personally, that's going to stand behind the paperwork. That's going to say, all right, well, we read the paperwork, but so what? So I don't know if he talking because he ain't from Hoover. Nigga, you ain't no gangster. You ain't never been from no set. You grew up where you grew up. But telling is telling. I sent to work. You know I sent to work. I sent to work. So whoever that is from Hoover, if he's telling the truth, brother, actually what I'll do, I'll put the work back up. That shit don't mean nothing. Like, I don't even think nobody told Rick nothing like that. Or if they did, they was trying to get a favor out of him. You know how people would do. They'll call and do that. But let's just be real. We had a conversation. I just simply said, look, bro, because you got to remember, I got blindsided. I used to defend Freeway Rick. You get what I'm saying? So when I get blindsided with it, I'm like, man, that's bullshit. You talking about the cop, whatever. They like, nah, bro, we ain't talking about the cop. This dude in Ohio, this other dude in New York, this, that. And they sent it in. Actually, shit, I want to say, I forgot who was driving that, but I went back and found the paperwork and I read it. Freeway Rick could tell you I used to defend him. I never knew about these other individuals that he told on. I didn't know. So, you know, once it comes up, if you ask me now, I tell you, yeah, he told. Do I got a problem with Rick? No. You just told. For me to have a problem with Rick means I got a problem with, I do business with a couple people that did told. But my business it's not affected because I'm not doing nothing you could tell on.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't know, you know, we all got people that's gonna do whatever we need them to do, but whoever the Hoover guy is, I'll put the paperwork back up if that's what you want me to do. You know, shit, get to it. I mean, I've been doing this 37 years, this street shit side of it. Get in line. You know what I mean? I've been Dutch, I done been in the penitentiaries, these streets, I done did it with the best of them, the worst of them. I done saw the backdoor shit, people I thought were my homies. I done had attempts on my life. I done been in God knows how many in the middle of the street bang outs before all the cameras and all the shit. That don't mean nothing. If it's paperwork on you, it's paperwork on you. It don't matter who you are, it is what it is. See, this is why the streets is over with. You find a guy that doesn't have nothing, right? Say, well, shit, I know they saying this, but if I show this, I can get this out of it. And Freeway Rick know that. That's why he moved the way he moved. You know, Freeway moved with Freeway. Got a few guys every now and then when he doing something, but other than that, Freeway kind of like a loner to himself because he knows people will try to leech on him, make things look like it's something it ain't. If you ask Freeway, you think Wack100 want to do something to you, he gonna tell you no.
Yeah, I agree.
He gonna tell you no.
Yeah.
Wack don't want to do nothing to me, but yo, they asked him a question, he's reading something. That day I told him, if you let that keep playing, I said, all right, I'm gonna go get it and put it up. Right? If you telling me this is false, then I should hear something back from you. I never heard nothing back from him. It is what it is. I used to defend this guys. There was a whole room on Clubhouse that I shut down and canceled because the New York guys was gonna ambush him. Real talk. Big Chuck room, I believe, on Death of the Cloud Chaser. I called him, hey bro, don't go in that room. Wherever you got scheduling shit, they're gonna ambush you. They're gonna come with this, come with that, and go in that room. But I didn't know. And then one of the dudes called me like, yo, I'm gonna send it to you. You gonna read it? Yeah, and I read it. It is what it is. Like, Black, you are my friend. If somebody told you, yo, Wack did this, bullshit, I can send it to you. If they send it to you and you read it, it's right there. You read it.
So you have never cooperated on any level, period?
Never. What you said, have I?
Yes.
Never.
Never.
I don't even have crimies. People know you go to jail with Wack, you coming back. Wack takes the case. You know why? Because I don't want to hear you talking about your girlfriend. You ain't got attorney money. Oh, shit. Nigga, I can't sit over here and fight this case for 2 years. None of that. Now, you got to remember, Vlad, I've never been convicted of a felony as an adult. My whole stint was when I was a juvenile. I just got convicted as an adult.
Okay, here's a question.
But even then at 13, 14, I'm sitting in Sylmar Juvenile Hall, right? On attempted murder on this dude, Baby Turtle from East Coast. I'm sitting in there on attempted murder. 5 months into fighting the case, they bring me back down. We just arrested these 4 of your homeboys, right? On this murder case right here. We let them go, but we gonna charge you with it. You know why we gonna charge you with it? Because they told us you the one did it. I knew I had nothing to do with the murder. Know what I told them? Hey, bro, it's Friday night. We got coffee cakes and chocolate milk, bro, the movie. Whatever you gonna do, get to it. At 14, I took a fucking body that wasn't mine. They released everybody else who was adults. While I'm already sitting there with an attempt and fought it and beat it. I done been under my homeboy Red Bull to tell you that because he one of the dudes that they had arrested and let go and knew that they put it on me. You know why they put it on me? They figured once we put it on the minor, he gonna tell us who really did it. Fuck you, I knew the job was dangerous when I took it. In my head, you gonna get 11 years and 29 days out of me. All you can get me is juvenile life. When you start doing this, you accept what come with it. I have never, ever, ever, ever cooperated. Never, ever, ever, ever not let a motherfucker go home. I send motherfuckers home from the substation. Officer, why you got him? You a minor, you driving, he's an adult. We know he told you to keep going. No, he didn't. Matter of fact, he begged me to pull over. I told him, fuck himself, jump out himself at the light. You wanted to sign a statement? Lil J-Dog James, pleasure to tell you that. Signed a statement. Yeah, he asked me to pull over. I refused to pull over and kept driving on my own free will. Kick him out. Wack, take them cases and fight my own. Listen, I'm the loudest motherfucker on the internet with this shit. You think somebody wouldn't have came to the forefront by now?
Okay, if I put you in Gucci Mane's place in that situation, Pooh Shiesty puts a gun to your head, makes you sign off. Then you get robbed, and everyone else is the same except you are replaced by Gucci. Do you make a statement to the police like Gucci did?
Here's
yes or
the
no?
problem with that.
Okay.
This is why I can't go all the way with you with that in that world. Gucci ass got too comfortable. I can tell my people, hey bro, I'm finna go over here and talk. Y'all stay right there. They're not gonna listen to me. It's not gonna happen. They're not gonna listen to me. That situation will not happen with me. The minute, okay, bro, what we doing? I want out the situation. My people gripping up on the spot. Any nigga move, any blinking, it's not gonna happen. That is not going to happen. Gucci's mistake is he got too damn comfortable.
And you know what's interesting when you talk, when you're talking about this is that 1090 Jake kind of pointed this out. Gucci had one security in the car and another one went up, but he left him outside the hallway to make it look like he didn't need security when really he should have just had his security inside the room.
Bro, I can tell my security, my people, hey bro, I'm finna go on and we cool. Yeah, all right, they're coming in. They don't give a damn about nothing I'm talking about.
Okay, but let's just say he's blue-faced and you guys are comfortable and your security ain't around and we're just gonna, we just have a little conversation, whatever else. And he pulls out a gun, puts it to your head and said, I'm getting tired of this contract, sign it over. And then he takes your shit. Do you give a statement to the police, yes or no?
Even in that situation, you gotta remember, bro, I think Gucci's someplace else mentally. Nigga, you reach on me, we are engaging, bro. Whether I pull a pistol or I attack you in defense, that gun going off. Either you gonna blow me while I engage you, or I'm gonna get a hold of it and blow your ass. Nothing about that situation.
So you're saying gun to your head, you'll try to disarm the person with the gun to your head.
Listen.
Because the drop is the drop, man. Everyone...
Ain't no drop. He told a motherfucker, Gucci, he told a motherfucker, hey, go get my backpack.
Okay.
The what?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It was...
This the same shit with Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey said what he said to that man, and that man told him, nigga, what? I'll be back. Anybody come from these streets, you're not letting him leave that parking lot. You'll be back. Unless you're ready, if you're not ready, hey, homie, you're gonna get up on that dude right then. Do whatever you gonna do, and after that's happened, you're gonna get out of there. What I'm telling you, Vlad, is like these situations, Vlad, a man's not gonna show up to a hotel room with a female and his whole intentions, both their intentions, are to have sex, and he gonna grind up against it with his fucking jeans on, bro. Certain shit just don't happen, and I'm like, again, that's what I'm saying, this was Roderick. I believe he thought in his head, we gonna work this out, we gonna record. He wasn't, and you always gotta stay ready. People I got love for, when I go see them, they be ready. Not that it's a problem with me, but I'm gonna be real. You don't know if on the phone it's a motherfucker behind me making me say, hey bro, where you at? I need to come see you. And when you start to live that life, this is the unfortunate part about this shit, that I got a neighbor in my community, and he reminds me of this every day I see him. Every morning, that dude is walking with fatigues on, and he's a military type walk, and he sees you and he salutes you, I said, this dude has not left that mind state. Bro, you can't tell me, Vlad, right now, it ain't a dude in that parking lot waiting on me. When you come from it, I let you want to pack up and move your ass to Berlin, a goddamn Oslo, Norway. As long as you are in the United States of America and you're dealing with people that you know come from that, you gotta be ready, bro. And what I'm saying is, I would never get to a point because either there would have been some gunshots in that room. Either he'd have got me or I'd have got control and got him. And it was more than them, so maybe they would have got me. But guess what? When them gunshots start blazing, you got to come out that room. So maybe I'd have been slumped over in there, and when y'all was coming out that door, my people didn't heard it, your ass would have been, but my people gonna be there anyway. I don't give a fuck where I'm at, they there. When I'm going to talk to Stunner, when I'm going to talk to QCP, and these dudes love me to death, right? They people are there. I don't take it no kind of weight, that's just what it is.
If I pulled out a gun on you right now and said, give me the Blueface
I'm
contract.
on you.
I gotta shoot you?
I'm launching. Soon as I'm not finna say what you doing. Vlad, listen to me.
There's no conversation once the gun comes
I'm
down.
happily, willingly telling you, I'm a paranoid individual. Not scary paranoid, precautious paranoid, right? My mind reads the room when I walk in. The minute, you remember when Terminator was coming through the parking lot, Terminator 1, and he was scanning the parking lot, and he was scanning for anything, I got that scene because I've been in front of you so much that if you was to do anything out of the ordinary, I'm gonna react. You may, by the time I get to you, may say, oh, Wack, I'm fucking around. Okay, man, hold on, what you got going on? But I'm like, I'm never relaxed. I wanna relax. You know what I'm saying? I really want to relax. This is why when I disappear in certain places where I feel I'm out the way, and even then, because I've used my name on things and people know you, like Vlad, ain't too many places we go, people don't know the hell we are, you don't know who they're gonna get on the phone and who knows who. I want to relax, but I just can't. I think Gucci he's in a state of peace in a world that's not peaceful. Cause he didn't see this, man, Gucci ain't no punk. He really thought, he really thought he was going to fix something. But I'm not, no, will I go sit down with law enforcement? No. You know, and I'm gonna be real, did I think that Gucci was gonna give a statement initially? No, because I was thinking about the old Gucci. This is what I thought was gonna happen. Swear to God. Gucci gonna let some time go by. Soon as Pooh Shiesty shows he's having a conflict or any back and forth with anybody else, right? Gucci gonna do what we all capable of doing. Get the dude booked at a club in goddamn Minnesota somewhere, Arizona somewhere, while he all the way sleep, and send the wolves. And they gonna think it's whoever he getting into it with. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought when I didn't hear the initial, I didn't hear no reports, I'm like, yo, he must have told the cop. But then the cop, you know, bro, he swore under oath, right? I don't know if Gucci could control this dude risking his pension, his retirement, and his job. Anytime they get into something, they have to report it, right? I'm thinking they got to report it, right? So,
well, if you're off duty, yes, but if you're retired, I don't think so.
Okay, is he retired or off duty?
I'm not sure. People are
I
saying
keep
either
hearing
off duty or retired. Yeah, we're not sure.
You know, so, you know, when I didn't hear nothing originally, I'm like, well, shit, maybe, you know, Gucci gonna handle it that way. But I think he sat back and thought about it, and I think having a conversation with the people that mean the most to him, his wife and whatever, shit, he went the civilian way. If Jay-Z did it, nobody would have said nothing. And he come from the streets.
Well, there was a rumor that Fat Joe confronted you over comments you made about Max B and Pistol Pete?
That's no rumor. I told the world that. We got video footage. I never put it out. I'll send you the video so you can. I think we got some video footage when it first started to happen.
What's going on, man? Pistol Pete, it's like. Damn, you Wack.
Let me get a photo with you.
You can't.
Pass it off.
We good. We don't need no pictures right now. Man, that shit too much, man. Let me ask you.
So when was this?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I told everybody I ran into Fat Joe.
Okay, what happened?
Well, we was at the Empire. You know, they got the guys in them brought the Wells Fargo building in San Francisco. That's their office now, right? So they gave a little event. Guys are like, yo, Wack, let me take you down here, show you the vault. I'm like, shit, I ain't ever been in a bank vault. Okay, let me check it out. He's showing me, you know, what he's gonna do. He's gutting the place. So when we get down to the vault, Fat Joe there. Now, you know, me and Fat Joe go way back. Me, him, his team, security team, whatever. Fat Joe a real dude, but Fat Joe loud like I'm loud. So as soon as Fat Joe sees me, he like, yo, Wack, we gotta talk. I said, yo, I match his energy because that's just Joe, regular Joe. But when I said, yeah, we gotta talk, what you wanna talk about? And he said, yo, you told my man Pistol Pete SMD. I said, exactly. And I tell him again, he gotta stay out my business. The only dude got nervous and got little was Fabulous. He got out of there. He got little. He was gone. So it was my team with me. Joe had his team, but it didn't matter. Even, I'm gonna tell you what I respected. Joe's security been with him many, many moons. Real respectful guy. Never flinched. When I approached Joe, what's up, man? What's going on? So he's telling me his point of view. I'm giving him my point of view. He like, yo, Wack, you gotta remember, bro, we didn't know the dude lied to us. You had all the paperwork. You got all the paperwork.
Who lied to him?
Max B, because that's what it started off as far as Joe was concerned.
Well, why does Joe care about Max B?
Well, Max B went up to Pistol Pete's Kill All Rats podcast, KAR, whatever that is. Yeah. And we had put the paperwork out, one section of it. He didn't know that we had a whole nother document with him on the stand. He had no idea. You remember the story he told? He was able to get out of it because it was conflict between his entertainment attorney and all this bullshit. Negative. He got on the stand and collaborated everything the DA had on his stepbrother, Pooh Sims. Yup, he came to my, we met prior to, the lady told us about the robbery. They went with the intent to rob. He said if they didn't give it up, he would even go as far as to kill. This is what Max B is saying on the stand. So when he went up there with Pistol Pete, although I don't know if Pistol Pete, I know he didn't see the work we had, the secondary, he seen the primary one in the appeal where it said, he admitted, I cooperated with law enforcement, but helping you find the whereabouts of Gina Conway.
Yeah.
Right?
Who I interviewed. Yeah.
Yeah, who you interviewed. So it said that. So Pistol Pete gets up there, and I ain't gonna lie, I was a little agitated, irritated with Pistol Pete because he did the same thing with Big U, right? Where he let Big U come on his podcast, and it's one thing to let them talk, but then when you get to talking like you verifying something, and we sitting here looking at the paperwork, right? I let the Big U one go. But this one, once he did it, I put the paperwork up, I went in on him, called him everything in the book. So Fat Joe heard, he said, Wack is gonna be a train wreck. I said, Joe, the tracks go both ways, bro. I said, Joe, every time your name come up in something, no matter how fucked up it is, what do I do? He said, you a brother to me, Wack. I can't front. You speak up for me. But I expect you to do that. I said, but this your man, right? Yeah. Me and Pistol Pete know each other, right? Pistol Pete know me and you straight, right? So why when my name come up, he don't stay out of it? Why he speaking against me? So you want me to stop speaking against a man and speaking against me? And Joe looked at me, he said, you got a point, but it's gonna get ugly. I said, Joe, it's gonna get ugly on both sides. You know that. I said, Joe, we here right now could get ugly. We just brothers. We'll tear this motherfucker up. We brothers. Ain't nothing soft on your side. Ain't nothing soft on my side. He said, Wack, you got a point. I'm going to talk to him because if he's speaking on you in these ways, that has nothing to do with him. You right, because when it comes to me, you always defend me. You know what I'm saying? Even when the shit came up with Big Pun's wife.
Yeah, the Cuban Link stuff and all that, yeah.
Big Pun's wife, me doing that deal, Joe would tell you. Wack called me. Called me. Yo, bro, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Do I got your blessing? Yeah, Wack, you got my blessing. So it's always been respected, but Joe, that's his man. Pistol Pete is his man, and I believe Pistol Pete, being a street dude, we know each other. He didn't sat back and thought about it like, yo, I did say some shit, speaking on Wack, going at him as if he didn't have facts and he put the paper on. What I didn't like was once I put the paperwork up, Pete, why you didn't go back and address Max B? Hey, bro, you came to my platform with these lies, and I'm looking at this paperwork, and we ain't done with Max B, because I got the audio coming of when your ass was in there telling.
Oh, yeah, the audio?
The audio coming.
Right. Well, because Max B replied, he called you pizza face and told you to suck your mother.
Okay, but did he address the paperwork?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's all I'm talking about. You can call me whatever you want, but what you won't call me is a motherfucking rat, which is what we're calling you. The streets of New York is calling you. I think Jim Jones didn't pick back up on it. He on him. And guess what? Vlad, if I address you on something and accuse you of something, you ain't called, you don't give a fuck about what I look like. If I'm lying, you're gonna say, this is proof that you're lying. He never contested the paperwork. Do you know what that dude asked the judge at the end of telling? Can you burn these documents? It's in the paperwork.
Huh.
Fuck what I'm saying. Now to the world, y'all all remember the famous Max B interview when he was in jail? Y'all was able to get off of it because I had an entertainment attorney and it was conflicting and they found out this, that, and other. No. The documents say you collaborated the DA story against your stepbrother, your brother. Now, Wack, what's the big deal? He got 120 years. He still maintains his innocence. He still says, I'm innocent, I didn't do it. So if this man has went and got on the stand in front of the judge, now this is a conversation he's having directly with the judge. The judge is asking him, so what do you know about this? He's telling him, Pooh Sims came to my house, plot, planned, executed, and told me that he would go as far as murder while committing this robbery. They got more evidence on Pooh Sims now than they had when he convicted him. So what did that just do to Pooh Sims' possible appeal?
Well, okay.
If he come down now, they can give him more time than he already got.
Right, but to be fair, in this situation, Pooh Sims killed someone with multiple witnesses. Not just Gina, but the other guy who survived. And there was a girl there also. So the chance of Pooh Sims walking away from this murder are really zero. Let's just keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100.
How the fuck is Max B out? Let me tell you something.
Max B wasn't there.
Let me tell you something.
Max B wasn't there.
Yeah, but he was.
Am I right?
He was identified as a co-conspirator.
I got that part,
okay.
right?
So
but that's a lot easier to beat than the actual trigger man with witnesses.
But he didn't beat it. He ratted. He had 75 years. So if he can come off 75, don't tell me dude can't come off his 120. Did he not come off his 75?
He did.
And how did he come off his 70? If I give you the paperwork, will you put it up? I got to work.
I'll look through it.
Okay.
Listen, I was supposed to interview Max B, but my thing was like, I want to talk about the case. And they're like, he's not going to want to talk about the case.
No,
so
he don't want to talk about the case.
I don't want to. So I'm like, I don't want to do the interview then. You know, that's basically where we left it because I feel like with my audience, they expect me to go hard. You know, we're not gonna ignore the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Listen. Hell no, you don't want to talk about it because I released a whole document the world didn't know about, and now I got the audio coming to me.
I want to hear this audio.
Oh, it's coming.
Okay, I want to hear the audio.
Trust me, it's coming. The audio's coming. It's on the way.
what exactly happened with the Offset Lil TJ situation?
Offset called me the next morning.
Okay.
He called me.
After he was shot?
5
in the hospital?
In the hospital, he called me.
Okay.
He said, listen, first of all, dude was knocked out. Dude was knocked out. He said, TJ. He said,
Lil TJ got knocked out.
He said a fan, I don't know him, he wasn't with me, knocked him out, bro. He was out cold. That's him. Because we all thought that was Offset shot on the ground. That's Lil TJ on the ground. So for Lil TJ to say Offset was hollering, that's the man that shot me, he's knocked. They had to wake him up with the smelling salt. This is why his only charge was like disturbing the peace. He didn't fight, he didn't nothing. Dude knocked TJ out. So Offset said he sees him. They say something to him. He go to engage. Shit happens. He sees something hit the ground. He realized he hit. He didn't get shot in the buttocks. He got shot in the hip. The bullet is still in his hip. The doctor told him it's safer to leave it there than to take it out.
So who shot him?
He don't know who shot him. He don't know who shot him. He said, I've never seen who shot me. He said, but Wack, that shit got face recognition, which
it's in a casino.
I said
you're not getting away with it.
I said this a week before. Now you see it's coming out. They got images and this guy and this guy, right? So he didn't know who shot him. He said, Wack, I don't know who the hell shot me. I'm fighting. Nigga, you know my drilling going, you hear a gunshot go off. I know I'm hit. But he said, I ain't got nothing on me, so all I could do is keep fighting or attempt to get away. He said, but Lil TJ ass went out off the back. Now, what I'm seeing in the blogs is the cameras are showing, I guess, whoever the gunmen are, came with Lil TJ. You at the fucking casino, bro. And this is the Indian reservation, which it could be feds if that's what they wanted to be, because it's an Indian reservation.
Right, because it's not a state case.
No.
Yeah.
Right. So they pulled up their camp. You know, as soon as you pull in, bro, they're scanning license plates. When you get out, they have facial recognition.
Right.
This is how they keep the prostitutes out. Soon the prostitutes walk through that door that's been banned, that they don't just know them girls by, they're telling them, hey, such and such red dress, right? So he said he didn't lose $865,000 that day. He said that was over a 4-month span. Said he lost the money, but that was over 4 months. Right?
He was down $865,000.
Over 4 months. Academics at the time, because I don't know who he got these text messages from, they had fed academics that this had happened that night. And he was down, but that was over a period of 4 months. The other dude that came out saying he owed him some money, $8,000, he told me that night, he said, that morning, he said, Ebro's gonna be issuing an apology. I went on Clubhouse and said it, and that later that evening, Ebro issued an apology because he went on there trolling like, yeah, he owed me $10,000 too. But Ebro's bullshitting, but everybody took it because now everybody's coming out saying Offset's borrowing money. You know what I'm saying? Offset's
well, didn't he get sued by a Detroit casino for $100,000 for owing them money?
That probably could have happened, but you had like ball players and everybody started saying Offset was. Listen, if a casino sues you, that's your marker. You know that? Like, you know, that's your marker. That is what it is. You know, I've known people that went to jail for, you know, gambling and not being able to pay their debt. You know, shit happens. And he also asked me, he told me, he said as a man, he said, I'm gonna go check myself into rehab.
For gambling?
For gambling.
Well, because I think 3 days after getting shot, you saw him back in the casino, like on a motorized wheelchair.
That's what I told him.
All those little carts.
That's what I told him.
That's crazy, man.
That's what I told. See, I don't know.
Because, okay, from what I understand.
I don't know if he did it, Vlad, because to be trolling, like, Vlad, these days is weird.
No, I get it. But, okay, but from what I understand, this whole thing sparked from Lil TJ being owed $10,000.
Yeah.
And Offset said, get it in blood.
Get it back in blood.
Get it back in blood. Pooh Shiesty. Quoting the guy who's in jail right now for trying to get it back in blood, too. Yeah. So.
Now, I don't know, and this is what happens, and I hate these situations. Guy owes you money, been on you money, telling you he's going to pay you money. And then months go by, whatever time go by, you been cool, then you call, hey, yo, bro, what's up with my fucking money? The next thing you know, the dude like, yo, who you talking to like that, bro? I'm talking to you. because talking you the other way don't work. And then what? Fuck you, I ain't paying you nothing now, right? I've seen these situations happen. Yeah. Not to say that happened in this situation, but if you're owed money, you know, do I think it may have been some type of debt going on here? Probably so. More likely than not, right? Because there's no reason for little TJ just to flip out, to be flipping out.
Right, and it's only $10,000. For someone like a little TJ, that's not a huge amount.
No.
Right, I know for the average 9-to-5 person who's watching this, is like, well, that's a lot of money. For a little TJ who's getting, what, maybe $50,000 a show or something like that, it's not a big deal. He's got a lot of stream numbers. And here's just what I've learned in my own life in terms of dealing with people I know. If a friend asks to borrow money, which lots of friends do with me, I don't even think about getting it back. I give it to them, and I say, pay me back when you can, but I never ask for it. When they pay me back, it's a bonus. If they don't pay me back and they ask for more money, I'll say, I can't do it because you didn't pay me back last time.
There you go.
And everyone's cool. If I bet someone and it's not at a casino, I assume they're not going to pay me back and I don't make a big deal out of it. I'll always pay my debts. But my whole thing is that at the end of the day, making a big deal out of it is going to make it worse and worse. And it's only a little bit of money. I'm not going to be betting 100,000 or 50,000 or even 10,000. But listen, I bet Tank, I think, on the NBA Finals, and I lost and I paid him. That was the end of that.
That's it.
Yeah, that was the end of that.
Tank would have paid you, though.
Tank probably would have paid me. But if he didn't, I wouldn't be like, oh, fuck, I'm going to kill you if you're not giving me this. Like, all right, so you owe me a couple thousand, whatever.
Tank would have paid. Tank a man his word.
You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Obviously, Offset has a gambling problem.
Yeah.
Right? Whether, because a lot of people did come forward and say that he owes me money he didn't pay.
Couple of those dudes, I know, like the other dude, he had a bet with his assistant for $8,000, and he asked Offset to pay dude's debt, and he wouldn't pay it. It wasn't directly with him. And the Ebro thing wasn't what they said it was.
Yeah.
But he told me, he said, I'm gonna go get some help. And I told him, hey, look, bro, you can go. I know you. Because I've always called him the Bobby Brown of the group.
He kind of is.
No, I've always said this.
Bobby Brown had Whitney, he has Cardi.
QC people knew it. He's always with the rent. Offset was in jail when they did the goddamn deal.
Oh, I know.
Offset's the bad boy.
Listen, I'll play a clip. I did the first ever Migos interview, 2013. This was before Drake jumped on Versace.
You don't really see a lot of groups in hip-hop anymore. You know what I mean? There's Travis Porter, the Slaughterhouse, and that's about it. You know what I mean? Like, why'd y'all decide to really be a group as opposed to just doing your own shit?
Because we family, we want to eat together. We family, we all family.
Yeah?
And we don't want to see nobody doing their own thing. We'd rather eat together, you know what I'm saying?
Offset was locked up. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was just Quavo and Takeoff. He was locked up at the time. I didn't do a separate interview with him later on, once he got out.
And I told Offset, I said, bro, you checking yourself into a gambling anonymous is not going to do nothing unless Offset wants to make a change. If you don't want to make a change, your ass ain't going to change.
Listen, for everyone who's watching this right now, right? I've never been a gambler for one reason alone. Walk into any casino. Look around. Look at all the lights. Look at all the free drinks.
I go win.
Look at the beautiful upholstery, the staff. They're all there from people losing.
That's a fact.
Yeah, they do a little show here and there. Yeah, there might be a little nightclub and some restaurants, but the bulk of that money is there from people losing.
Listen.
It's designed to lose. If you're okay with losing money, then go ahead and do that. If you want to gain money, go into stocks or real estate or something else like that.
I got a $200 limit at the blackjack table. If I lose 200, I'll win 200.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I kind of do it to just feel like I'm doing something, but
you're not really doing nothing. Not a $200.
I think the most money I won, I was out in Vegas and was at the roulette table, whatever the hell. No, the dice. It was a crap table.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really understand it all. So I'm like, yo, bro, I see 6, 8 and all this shit. So what? Like, you put your money on there, and then, if they hit it, you get paid, even though its point may be 9, but if you hit a 6. So I'm like, well, what's this one? I don't, it said like a double or some shit. He like, yeah, so you put it on there and hit, you're going to get paid times whatever. So I put my whole 200 over there. And it hit. It was like times 10 or some shit. I don't know what.
They made 2,000.
Whatever. Listen, Vlad, let me tell you something. Dude was so mad at me. The dealer dude. He gave me my chips. He said, where you going? I said, I'm cashing out. I'm out. You're not going to keep betting? Absolutely not. When I tell you I was out, Vlad, we was out there on our motorcycles. I left, got on the motorcycle, 15 south. I'm gone. You get what I'm saying? So I don't, but again, you know, it's like a drug habit, alcoholism. They said that gambling thing is something different. My man told me, watch, I'm gonna tell you who, he gonna probably be laughing. He said, Wack, I've seen people have heart attacks at the table. I'm talking about he just lost everything he was worth. He said, I know some people that put a cooler in their trunk with sandwiches and water and chips, fill the car up because they know when they go in that casino, they ain't coming out till they flat broke and they can get back home.
Look, I interviewed this guy named Terry Watanabe. He lost his entire $127 million fortune in Las Vegas. He burned through all the money. He bet over $800 million. He had, I think like at Caesar's Palace, it was like 20% of their overall like profit came from him. He had a tier level that they invented for him. They kept him there drunk and gambling for days and weeks at a time.
And roll it out. Listen.
It got to the point where now he's totally broke. He had to get a GoFundMe to fund an operation. He's messed up. He's had multiple heart attacks. He got on cocaine and everything else like that. And he has nothing to his name. His entire $127 million fortune. And it wasn't like he was even trying to win. He just liked the process of gambling. Yeah, I'm almost the best part of this. What game did he lose almost all his money on? Take a guess.
Craps, blackjack?
Nope.
Roulette?
Nope.
I don't know, bro.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Slot machines. That started a year-long binge where you lost $127 million.
In 07 years.
Okay. So they're saying this is one of the biggest losing streaks by one person in Las Vegas history.
Probably.
What was the game that you were playing?
I threw slot machines.
Whoa.
Yes. $10,000 a spin and so forth. Slot machines. A game that requires zero skill. There is zero strategy. You're just sitting there pressing a button while your money goes away. Slot machines.
Yeah.
At least with blackjack, there is some sort of edge or some poker. Yeah, there's great poker players and slot machines.
Let me tell you how garbage I am at gambling. I go to a blackjack table where nobody's there because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
And every time I go to a table with people there, they want to kill me.
Because you're messing up the whole thing.
I guess whatever I'm doing is, they be like, why the fuck did you do that? I'm like, shit, do what, right? I don't know what they're looking at, so I'm like, you know what? Wack, you in here doing your little dumb shit, because it's dumb shit. Like, I literally do it because I have nothing to do. It's 2 o'clock. I got a meet to do it at 4:30. I got time to kill. I'll go to the table, and I don't give a shit if I win or lose.
Yeah, because it's $200.
It's $200,
yeah.
Right? But I've had people like slap the table, storm away, call me asshole. Because I remember one time I had a fucking a 10 and an 8, right?
And you hit on that?
And I hit on it. I'm like, well, fuck it. Let me see if I can get a 2 or a 3. I don't care, right? I got a $10 chip.
And they're like, what are you doing?
But let me tell you
took my card.
Dude had a king. So when I hit, it was a 10. It was a queen, right? So I guess I took his card. So He went nuts. He called me all kind of names. I just thought shit was funny, man. But I'm garbage. You ever see me on the floor? Don't come over there, Bobby, looking for nothing special. I don't know how to gamble. The only time I'm good at dice is playing Monopoly. Right? I don't give a shit about it. It's just, you know, when it comes, and I know what? I gotta thank my father for that, because growing up he was a crackhead in my earlier years. He's been clean since '94, right? For, you know, quite some time, a little over 30 years. But you know, you grow up, your brother's a baseball player. You're like, I want to be a baseball player. The shit I saw and experienced, and what I went through living in that home of being deprived of certain things, made me say certain things I would never do. So when I learned that being a drug addict or being an alcoholic or being a gambler are all things that can take away from you the same way, right? You know, you got a little more health effect with the other ones. It was just something I would never do. Like I would never try weed or cocaine or.
You never smoke weed?
No, I don't even know how to inhale, exhale.
Okay.
Think about it. Have you ever?
No, I never have.
So I don't. You know what I'm saying? So because it was related to that. So gambling kind of tight. And I got an older big cousin named China Mike, and his ass, like, they sent him sweets, come to Vegas, but he's went in there and won 200,000 and lost 250. Mm-hmm. And every time he's doing it great in life, it's because he's away from the gambling. Mm. When he starts to gambling, shit gets a little rocky for him. And he tell me, relatives, stay away from it. But I just don't have the urge to, bro. I don't have the urge. I have the urge to want to create, want to event, want to start a new business. Now you'll get me there. I'll lose some money over there. But the rest of the stuff, I just don't have the urge to do it.
Well, speaking of Offset, I interviewed 42 Dugg, and we talked about that situation that happened over a dice game, I guess. They're saying that Offset ran your pockets, you denied it. Something happened, though. Mm-hmm. What exactly happened?
An argument.
An argument?
Yeah.
Over what?
Gambling.
Okay. So who was up during this time?
Me.
How much were you up?
About 10,000.
Okay, not that much. Mm-mm. Okay. And what was the argument over?
Me having to go.
Oh, he wanted to win some of his money back. So what happens next?
Nothing. I still left.
Over dice game.
Yeah, and you were involved in that. Remember, you hit me.
Directly involved.
Yeah, you hit me. It was like, yo, I was there.
Bro, in the middle of it, A to Z, the song Bust Down with Blueface. It came from that night.
What exactly happened that night?
So when we got there, I warned Blueface. I told all of them, all my little schoolyard Crip partners be with us on tour. Do not, when we get to this studio, go in here gambling with these dudes. They're professional. They gamble big. I warned them. So when I saw Offset at our last show, it was a little baby tour. I said, yo, man. He like, what's up? I'm like, oh, fuck you. You ain't even did nothing with my new artist. I ain't fucking with you. He like, bro, P got the studio closed. He'll open it up for you. I called P. He said, Wack, it been closed. I said, I need him to get this feature done. He said, you my brother. I'm going to open it up. You responsible. No problem. Go to the studio. We get in there. They gambling.
So who is they?
Offset, 42 Dugg is gambling with a host of others around him. $5,000 a hand, $1,000 a side bet. I go in the room and start listening to beats. Blueface disappears for about 17 minutes. He comes back, give me 10,000. Negative. Nope.
Because he wants to get in on that game.
He already got in. He done got his hit already. I warned all of them, do not go in there playing with these Atlanta boys. These boys shoot dice. Little baby's a goddamn magician at it. He go out there and he get hit. He come. Nope. You know I ain't gonna give you shit. You get mad, cuss me out, you'll thank me later. So he gets in there and he starts writing his verse. I come out. Now when I got there, Offset was 20,000 into Dugg. 15, 20,000 had his money, right? But when I came back out maybe 45 minutes later, Dugg is like 15 grand in the Offset. So he didn't want all his money back plus another 15 grand. He shoot, Offset get the dice. Offset 5 a hand, right? Because they had broke it down to maybe 2-3 grand. Fuck it, Offset hit, bam. 5 another hand, bam. He hit him, 10,000 back that quick. What we doing, 5 of them? You want to double or nothing? 42 Dugg picks his money up off the ground. The rule of the dice, you can't pick the money up off the ground and leave unless you have the dice. It's Offset's dice. 42 picks the money up off the ground. He's still about 10,000 in the Offset and walks out. I never forget this shit. I'm not telling you nothing nobody told me. As I sit here and look at you right now, Vlad, I can tell you what your cameraman guy is doing. Set looked up at his homies. Dugg walked out the side door and he said, this nigga think I'm a pussy ass nigga. He jumped up, pursued him. I come out behind him. You come through the back parking lot, you make a left and another left, and the left takes you to the gate. QC Studios back then, you know how you pull up to some gates and it, you know, the sensor, it'll trigger it. Unless they let your ass out inside, they push that button, you ain't getting out the gate. Dugg's walking, Set come behind him. Dugg got about 4 or 5 people, about 4 people with him. Set got 4 or 5 people with him. He grabs his, Dugg got these skinny jeans like on, money bulging from his pockets. Set grabs his pocket from the back like he was trying to rip the pocket. But instead of it ripping the pocket, it turned 42. And when it turned, Offset fired on him. Bam! Hit him flush. Jaw shot. So I give it a 3-4 count. Fuck it, it's gonna be a fight. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. 42 don't want no smoke. At that point, I get in the middle, push Offset back. I put Dugg in this arm right here. I got him right here. He ain't trying to fight me or nothing because he know I'm coming to help. All of them, I'm gonna keep it gangster. All of them was right. I looked up, it's 7, 8 little motherfuckers with shit out like this. I tell Offset, go back in the studio. His team with him like, fuck that Offset, woo, 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 woo. We in Atlanta, Wack ain't got, I said, Set, it's gonna be hell to pay come the morning. Bro, look at them cameras, go back in the studio. Offset said, Unc, right. He respect me. They, you know, I've been knowing these cats as they was, you know what I'm saying? He said, right, let's roll. They go back in the studio. I said, open the gate. I tell 42 man's like, Wack, what's up with you? 42 tell him kick back. I said, open the gate, y'all go to the car. I'm trying to keep a gun battle from happening. I'm literally in the middle. 42 people here, Set people here. They disappeared and I was just me and Dugg. Dugg is right here. I'm not choking him out. I'm not violating him. I'm like, Neff, I got you. Y'all be cool. They walk out. They didn't take no jewelry. They didn't take no money. He didn't get nothing from me. When they walked out, then I walked him to the gate and he got to his car. That's what it was.
Okay, hold on. Why is it a rule that you can't leave with the money because someone else is rolling the dice?
If me and you shooting dice and it's your dice, unless I'm out of money, you break me, you get what I'm saying? If I got 2,000-3,000 on the ground and it's your dice, you finna roll again, I can't just take my money and walk away.
Why?
That's the rule.
In Vegas, you could do that.
Well, shit, you in the streets. I don't know. Ask these motherfuckers.
Okay, I've never heard of this rule. But then again, I also don't play dice like that. Yeah.
I shoot dice in the streets with Monopoly money. At home in my backyard, fucking around with some people I know. I don't, but this is the rule. So if it's my dice and, you know, I'm shooting and you still in me, you who's watching me shoot the dice can't pick your money up and walk away. Can't do it. That's
Okay.
the rules.
All right. I learned something.
So,
new.
you know, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, originally he denied everything. And then when he went to jail and came back, you did it, Vlad. You got him. Because everybody like, oh, hold on, bro. When Wack told this story before you went to jail, you denied everything. Now you sitting on Vlad talking about you and Offset were shooting dice and...
Well, he said they tried me or something like that. That's what he said.
Before he denied it all.
Denied it all. Okay. Well, I got something out of it.
You definitely got, you denied it all, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, and I'm going to be real, 42 Dugg, a little dude, maybe, you know, but what I hear, he ain't no fighter. But once Offset put his hands on him, I gave the man opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to defend himself, and he didn't want none of that smoke. I know a lot of people that ain't going to fight you. They'll do something else to you.
Well, and he walked away with the money, right? Offset never got the money back.
Nobody took a dime from him. He'll tell you that. And that's why probably a couple months later, I was in South Beach coming from Prime 112, and some of his people was outside. And they said, Wack, we want to shake your hand. Dugg told us what you did for him. Didn't nobody take no jury. And I never say you'll never find a clip of me saying they took anything from him. He tried, when he tried to grab that pocket, the pocket just didn't rip. He was trying to rip his pocket off, but instead it turned him. And then that's when that happened. But shit happens, man. You know, we know the truth. People get mad at me for telling stories. It's just a story. It's just what happened. See, you got to remember, Vlad, we kind of share something similar. I don't think you've thought about it. What blogger that does what you does, that's still here today operating, could go back as far as you can with the interviews and the stories that you've been a part of?
I mean, there's like Sway, Big Boy, guys like that.
No. Sway and Big Boy didn't do it. Your ass was in the paint.
Yeah.
They was...
in the studios, in the radio stations.
Okay, now watch this. Give me somebody in the entertainment business that goes back as far as I go back. The circles and the people I've been around, intertwined with, did business with, that's still here today talking about it.
Can't think of anyone.
My point.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things I be telling people, like, I'm kind of on the mountain on my own. I mean, I could really tell some stories, but a lot of y'all wouldn't even understand what I'm talking about because y'all couldn't leave the porch. The only guy that remotely and where you got the edge at was you was everywhere. You just wasn't in a certain region. Doggy Diamonds was around.
Right.
Right? But he was predominantly New York, that East Coast. We got to give bro his prop and his credit. But, and I tell people, I said, bro, when it comes to Vlad, you got to remember, like, I said, bro probably got shit on drives that will blow our mind.
Oh, yeah, no, listen, I pulled out a Gucci Mane clip of him talking about I'd rather die than snitch. No one has that.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because you know, it's all in the edit. You got shit that you just didn't put out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that was no disrespect to 42, but then when he started talking crazy, we had to put the exposures on him.
Well, Crip Mac.
Yeah, I see you interviewed. That was different.
Yes, that was different.
That was different.
Now, let's talk about a situation that happened before the interview started.
Okay.
Okay, so Crip Mac's people reached out to me. What was the girl's name?
Lupe,
right. Lupe reached out to me, said Crip Mac wants to do an interview. We set a date. It was all set up. I hit up my assistant. I said, hey, just confirming my security for today. And she had dropped the ball and forgot to book security for me. So earlier that day, I hit you and I said, hey, do you have a security I could use for today? And you sent me Christopher Lovejoy.
Very professional guy.
Yes, professional guy. I have never talked to him before. I've never heard his name before. I had no idea who he was. He showed up, seemed professional, everything cool. Crip Mac and Lupe show up, and I hear some ruckus by the door.
Probably more Lupe than anything.
Lupe, right. Crip Mac wasn't saying anything. He was walking back to the car, and Lupe is like, yo, what's he doing here? We don't fuck with this dude. He's a scammer. He ripped us off. He did this, he did that.
Crazy. You know what's crazy about that? She's saying the we. See, before it was a Lupe, it was a Christopher Lovejoy, right? And it's crazy because when people get their buzz, right, then they want to claim it. I guarantee you that Christopher Lovejoy and Crip Mac left with a smile.
Right, let me finish the story, right? So all this is happening, Crip Mac walks back to his car and jumps in the car along with Lupe. So I had to walk over there and I was like, what's going on right now? Yeah. Like, we don't fuck with this dude. Why'd you book this guy? I'm like, I have no idea what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Really, I don't.
Yeah.
Because it's being painted by certain people on the internet that I'm setting up this gang member with his ops and I backdoored him or something. I'm like, I have no idea what's happening here.
That's how Christopher Lovejoy is licensed security.
Yes.
I use him all the time.
And this is how I even came across him.
He's very professional. You called me, said, Wack, you got somebody that can be here within an hour. It was like some last minute notice.
Yeah.
I called a couple dudes. He said, I'm about 30 minutes out. I can get there a little early. Cool, right? I know he's professional.
Yeah.
You're a great judgment of character, Vlad.
Nah, he was great. He was great. I've used him again since then.
And guess what? Even in that situation, you probably watched him diffuse it.
Right. He was like, Crip Mac, like, what did I take from you? Like, I don't understand what you're saying right now. Like, what? Because it was really mostly Lupe that was upset.
It's just what I'm trying to tell you,
that
bro.
was mostly Lupe. So I'm like, look, like, if it makes y'all feel better, he don't have to be in the room. Like, I can leave him outside. Yeah. Like, I don't know what's happening right now. I'm just trying to save the interview.
And guess what? If Crip Mac was really tripping, then he wouldn't have been as calm. But it
was really her. He was why? Totally like Crip Mac wasn't even saying much.
You know why? He's a threat. Why? Because he was once management.
Okay.
So she's thinking in her head, she ain't looking at him, he's just security. Them dudes ain't got no problems, want to do nothing. They from the same tribe, right? And Christopher Lovejoy, he don't even give a damn about it anyway. That's why I know you were able to see, like, this dude's not feeding into it. He's not showing any signs of...
No, he was actually like, he was confused as to what was happening. So ultimately, the interview happened. It was a great interview, and the two of them took pictures together afterwards. So like I said, this whole narrative that I'm somehow trying to backdoor Crip Mac with his ops is like really just crazy. No. It's really just crazy when I'm seeing it.
A lot of people, bro, got things going on because of other people talking. If they can really just talk and see each other, it's not a problem. Right? And like you said, it was more her flipping out than him.
Yeah.
Right? You never forget a person that fed you. You never forget a person that put money in your pocket but you didn't have it. You never forget that. Even if it is some type of issue, right? If you guys haven't got on the phone or seen each other to try to work it out, right? Even when you see him, that's why Crip Mac can act a damn fool if he wants to, right? He don't see that dude as no op. He may say, hey, something happened that I didn't like, but guess what? If they have a conversation, then he'll understand because Christopher Lovejoy, he's not even the contract holder. That guy's in jail. He was just the foot runner, the guy out here to run around and do everything for him. Crip Mac knows that. He know who he did his deal with. Lupe wasn't in the loop back then, but you know, one thing you know, Vlad, I'm never gonna send anybody here because I know what this is. That's not professional, that comes with any bullshit.
Yeah.
And I know you was able to see that, okay.
Yeah, no, everyone was professional, everything went off cool, but it was just like this thing that dropped in my lap out of nowhere. And then, like I said, there was the chatter afterwards that somehow it was.
Well, you can't be backdooring when you're taking pictures with the guy after the fact.
I know, that's what I'm saying, right? Like,
but that, look, man, but I'm gonna tell you this, Vlad, a few of us sat back and scratched our head, but like, what the hell is Vlad up to? Because that's what comes, and Crip Mac.
What do you mean, what am I up to?
Yeah, because when you interview Crip Mac, that was different. Because you've been having access to Crip Mac for a couple years now, right? I said, maybe Vlad sees something, maybe he's trying to try something. But it's a different crowd, that's a different interview. Because Crip Mac's a character.
Oh, yeah. In fact, Mano hit me, said, this is my favorite guest on VladTV right now.
He's a character, right? And can't nobody take that from him. I've never met him personally. I remember getting a call from my guy, Big Bruce from Compton. He like, yo, man, I'm sitting here with Crip Mac. I'm like, bro, that's crazy. I'm watching this dude on YouTube. This dude's hilarious. And even though he's changing all the B's to C's, I wasn't offended because the shit was so funny. Like, just his whole everything. That's why when Swamp Stories did they piece on him showing, like, how he really grew up and the areas he really grew up, I said, shit, I'll give him more, because I'm looking at it as entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
If he's gang banging, he can't be in front of the camera doing what he's doing. This is entertainment. I wanted to sign Crip Mac not as an artist, as a rapper. I had a deal going. I was gonna let him fight Blueface, but I wanted him as a comedian. I said, bro, I want to work with you as a comedian. I was gonna put him on Wild and I already had it set up.
Huh.
I had it all set up. I didn't give a shit about his language because the shit was funny. Can you imagine? It's like when Mike Tyson did his thing, that room stayed full. It stayed packed. That's different. You put a rider with him to, you know, a little intro, little outro, and just let him go as him.
Yeah.
That shit's over to the, and I still think he's missing his calling.
Well, yeah, I interviewed Jack 5.
Yeah, but Jack 5 whooped his ass.
Yeah, he actually admitted to it. He said, yeah.
Cuz did win on me with Crip. Like he said, kid, I try to swing 2 wild punches, cuz. I mean, cuz smaller. Like, oh yeah, cuz I got cuz on me with Crip. Cuz did exactly on me. Cuz said everything on me with Crip. Oh, listen, when cuz connected with them toe, cuz, on me with Crip, it felt like a hammer smashing my head. On me with Crip, I almost thought I went for sleep. I can't expect that, cuz looking at me on hook. Cuz just keep firing, cuz. I fired like cuz on me with Crip. I don't know if you ever been hit that hard, cuz, where you see stars, cuz, like you getting ready to go, wow. I'm like, hold on, cuz, like, no. On me with Crip, cuz, let me up, cuz. I try to get up, cuz, when I'm getting up, cuz, I'm dazed. Cuz, fire on me, yeah, boom. On me but Crip, you ain't no real Hoover killer. On me but Crip, just like that, cuz, on hook. Then the fight was over with, cuz, I'm dazed on me but Crip.
He said that motherfucker knocked me out. That's true. He said.
He probably gonna
he
say
said, don't underestimate Jack 5. He really, he's like a little pit bull like that. Like, he'll knock you the fuck out.
Yeah, he always.
And shout out to Jack 5, man. That was a great interview. And I didn't expect those types of numbers. He really has a real fan base. And a lot of people just being out in the grocery store, a lot of people like, oh man, I love that Jack 5 interview. And seemed like a real level-headed young man.
Yeah, he's
real intelligent, forward-thinking.
He found himself.
Yeah, man, I like him. I'm gonna have him back. I'm gonna have him back.
No, he definitely found himself. He, I met him maybe 2-3 times. We talked over the phone, met him in person, and he's a leader. And he's gonna stand for what he believes. And he knows what he wants. You know what I mean? And he kind of reminds me of me because at a very early age, I caught on that the gang banging shit was some bullshit.
Well, what he said was interesting. He said that when he went to jail, he realized that gang banging was pointless because all his enemies would click up in prison on racial lines and then get outside and start fighting each other again. And he just said, I don't understand this.
But then when you get to prison, they like too black, too strong. And it's like a throw off. Like, what the fuck? Like, man, I'm out here taking penitentiary chances, like about to get life in jail for my enemies. And then once I get to prison, y'all talk about it's against other colors now. Like, it's us against them. And we're too black, too strong. So it's like more so like it's a confusing thing. So that's where I woke up. That's where I finally opened my eyes. Like I can't die for this shit and I can't do life for this shit because like it's false.
It didn't make no sense.
Didn't make any sense to him.
He grew up where he grew up. He was a product of the environment. But the same shit happened with me. I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, wait, hold on. This is. But then you're supposed to get out. but then on the streets we try to kill each other, but then we come in here and we get along. So what happens is all the guys I'm meeting in prison, I'm getting out on the streets, I'm seeing them. I'm supposed to act like they're my enemy? We was just in prison, you know, busting moves in the child hall. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it didn't make sense. So I was supposed to get out. I was on the streets. I go to jail for trying to harm some people. I go in here. I see the program. You get to know these people. And then I'm supposed to get out and see them and treat them like an enemy? It didn't make sense. This is why I tell the kids. It's like they're lying to you. It's kind of like misery loves company. They're lying to you. Don't believe it. Don't even go down that lane. There's nothing there.
What's going on with the whole Big U case? Because they're saying the prosecution is not using the DNA found under the victim's nails.
Well, we said that back in April of 2025, that it wasn't once they were apprehended in that first paperwork, I think might have been Prince. Prince pulled those documents and he's one of the exposers, and it showed that it wasn't a positive, it wasn't a negative. It was like inconclusive or some shit, right? But that's not even the basis of that case. That would have been a nail in the coffin, but it's so many other different elements. It's the ring, it's the security guard, it's the triangulation of when he turned the cell phone off, him leaving with the kid, they catching him on the ring with the kid, him leaving, and then where the body was found versus where he went back to and turned the cell phone back on. They just picked up a youngster who was supposed to be a witness to some things, who somebody was hiding him out. They just picked him up a week and a half ago.
Around this case?
Yeah, around this case,
Wow.
around the murder.
Okay.
But like I said, it's a whole lot of elements to this. You know, the security guard, you know, that was at the studio. The swapping out of DVR boxes and cameras. It's all kind of stuff to this case. The driver, Sylvester Robinson, you know, was authenticating, driving from from LA to Las Vegas. You know what I mean? So that would have been bad, but it still doesn't erase everything else. And I think where they're gonna have their problem with is motive. Remember, it was a song, and then they tried to say, oh, he was mad his son was gay, which is a complete lie, some BS. I still have yet to hear motive. You can't say it was a diss song, because even when Nipsey dissed him, he didn't try to unalive him. He just went over there and whooped his ass. So what's the motive? That right there is, I think, that's their problem. They got to establish a motive. Yes, they got him on a Ring camera. They got him turning his phone off, leaving the studio. And the Ring camera, maybe 18, 19 minutes, they triangulated how long it take to get from here to there is about it. But okay, they leave at this time, but where'd he go? Did he drop him off down the street? Did the kid jump out? Nobody could put him at the point of the body, but then they're saying, well, the time it took to get from studio to the Airbnb where the Ring catches him, and then the time it takes to get from the Airbnb, which we see him leaving, to where the body was found, and the time it takes to get from where the body is found back to the studio where he turns his phone on, triangulates exactly 47, 48 minutes. Okay, cool, right? But that still doesn't say he had to be the one to do it. But then the other things come the next day, him calling security to take the camera system out and all these other things. So they're gonna paint this picture. But again, a murder is a easy case to beat if they don't have everything. But you never know what they don't have. You know what they do and they don't have. But that, either this is DNA or not. I don't understand that.
Well, how is Loose Cannon and Brick Baby tied into this thing, if at all?
Brick Baby's not part of the RICO at all.
He's not, but he got arrested around the same time.
He arrested 19 people. That was making it look good. He arrested 19 people. Okay. Only 7 of them part of RICO. 5 males, 2 females.
Okay, so Brick Baby's not part of that.
Not part of
Totally
RICO.
separate case. What about Loose Cannon?
Loose Cannon's part of RICO on the robbery side.
Okay.
Not part of the extortion with Dale Morrison and not part of the murder. He's part of a dispensary robbery. The one he talked about on No Jumper.
He talked about what he's in jail for right now.
Bro, he came, I brought him up here, and at the time, I'm not lying, I just thought he was just talking shit. Because this is when he's talking about the FaceTime, 30 minutes, the Nipsey shit and all the shit. And he gave a full description. He like, yeah, we did this robbery on this dude, and we robbed the dude, and we ended up over here. Next thing you know, the dude that we robbed pops back up where we're at, and then Big U took 40,000 of the earnings and gave it back to the dude. So he's saying this. So I guess the feds go back and confirm with their CI.
Well, didn't Spider Loke post paperwork of you filing assault charges against Big U?
Never.
Is this, hold on a second.
Never.
Hold on a
If
second.
Spider Loke posted something.
Well, hold on.
it's
Wait,
fake.
hold on. This is in my notes, but I'm going to, there's a link.
Never. See, this is why Wack looks
Hold
big.
on,
This is why I look bigger than what I'm supposed to be.
Hold
Because
on.
y'all come at me with this shit.
7 days ago, Spider Loke posted paperwork, and the caption is "Valley victim violated." I guess you're the Valley
I'm from
victim.
the Valley, 818 Pacoima. I don't
Right.
announce that at all. That ain't nothing.
So here's the paperwork
down
here
payment.
that.
No, read it.
Here it is, and I'm gonna read it to you.
I want you to read.
Over
This is what I filed. Wait.
Yes.
Now look, let me get this right. Vlad, this is what I filed on him, right? That's what you said, right?
This is what the
No.
this is
You
what the
just
post said.
said Wack filed paperwork, a case on Big U, right?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Overt
read.
Act number 155, Exhibit C40
You know what
to
an overt act
C41.
is, right?
What's that?
This is something that they say they picked up on wiretap.
Okay.
Continue read.
On December 30th, 2022, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said that when defendant Henley catches Wack100, I'm gonna break his jaw. Defense response: This is a private statement of frustration, not a threat, communicated to Wack100. There's no evidence Wack100 ever heard this statement.
Stop. There's no way.
Hold on.
See, Vlad, you can't fuck with me. I'm from the Valley. I don't do what they do. Huh? So you're talking about Big U on the phone with another individual telling them, I want to break Wack100's jaw. The damn AUSA is saying, we're using this to establish character. The defense attorney is saying, Wack100 never even heard these words being said out of my client's mouth. So how in the fuck am I filing a charge on Big U?
Hold on. There's actually audio in this. So let me see if because the thing is, it's a bunch of like paperwork that's like scrolling and stuff like
Come
that.
on, man.
Number 155, which alleges that on December 30th, 2022, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said that when defendant Henley catches Wack100, I'ma break his jaw. The defense response to this is a private statement of frustration, not a threat communicated to Wack100. There's no evidence that Wack100 ever heard this statement, was placed in fear, or harmed. The government has not charged any assault on Wack100. He would also include overt act number 164, which alleged that on January 12, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said he wanted to beat the out of Wack100. The defense response to this is the government has not identified what action, if any, followed because none did. Now, the government would respond to Big U, and they would say that framing is backwards. The government is entitled to prove the overt acts charged in its own indictment. These are not uncharged other acts. They are part of the charged RICO conspiracy, and proof of charged overt acts requires no 404B justification. Y'all saying I threatened Wack100. I'm not charged with that. Y'all saying that I said I wanted to beat up Wack100. I'm not charged with that. The government is now coming back and saying that, yes, you are. It says, these are not uncharged other acts. They are part of the RICO conspiracy, and proof of charged overt acts requires no 404B justification. So, long story short, Big U is charged with assaulting Wack100. And the government is responding saying those are not uncharged acts. Those are charged acts. And the proof will be offered at trial. So we can expect to see at some point during Big U's trial, the government put on a presentation of a crime that Big U allegedly did against Wack100. And
now stop it right there,
assume.
This is where you can't be mingling with the idiots. The motherfucker just said, this is what he said he wants to do. Let's go back to elementary. Someday, I want to fly a plane. What does that mean? That I've never what?
Flown a plane.
He said, I want to break Wack100 jaw. So let's just slow it down. That means if this is something he wants to do, he never said he did it, right?
Right.
So that means he's never assaulted me, right?
Right.
They're saying because we got you on the phone making a threat of what you want to do, we're going to use it, this is what they're really saying, to establish your character of a violent person. This is really what they're fucking saying. The idiot is sitting there reading and saying, Wack100 has never even heard these words come out of Big Eugene Henley's mouth. So if I've never heard the motherfucking words come out of his mouth, and he ain't never touched me physically, what the fuck could I say? But again, because I'm Wack100, the guy from the valley, I'm gonna be real. I challenge niggas. When the last time I had paperwork on the valley nigga telling? See, they want to play the game, and I could play the game back. We are, that city I come from, Pacoima, they got some rats, they got some sex offenders, but when it comes to the numbers of what's going on in inner city LA and us, we don't got them numbers. We don't got them kind of problems. And again, when the exposers come and say, this dude did this, we produce paperwork that says that. So you said it was paperwork on me that I filed charges on Big U, right? That's saying that the federal government wants to file charges on him using overt acts. Who said these words? Did I say these words or Big U say these words?
Big U, I guess.
So they're using what Big U
is saying about you.
Said about me to me or somebody else.
Well, to charge Big U.
No, he's talking to somebody.
Right.
Is the person he's talking to identified as me?
No.
Okay. So the person he's talking to is not me, so therefore it's not a terrorist threat, it's not a verbal threat. And he's saying, I want to, which means what? It has yet to happen.
Right.
So what the fuck that got to do with me?
Let me play,
so once again, you know what's
happening?
happening? I got Big U for the third time on the fucking phone, and he know his phone is tapped. It's 2020 paperwork with Sue Surf, indictment of the New Jersey Rolling 60s, where Big U was the number 4 conspirer at supplying the guns and drugs from Los Angeles as a lead Rolling 60 Crip with his same Instagram, same phone number. And what did he do? 3-4 years later, he got the same number, calling niggas on the phone, saying these same things. And we got that paperwork as well.
Are going to see Wack100 testify in some form. It's overt act number 150.
Now let me see where your brain works. What the fuck could I testify to?
Right, that's what I'm thinking too.
Cause this dude is an idiot. They just said Wack's never heard these words. He never touched Wack. What the fuck am I gonna, they don't need Wack to testify. They got the wiretaps. Now, however the federal government is working that in there to say, I don't know. I think personally it's just them establishing character. Personally, to say, you see, these are violent things. He says
he's a violent guy.
He
Look at all
wants
the
to
people
do to
he's
people.
threatening and whatever.
They
else.
can't motherfucking get this man on no assault. Vlad.
So you're not going to, let's just say that the feds subpoena you and say, listen, now that you've heard this, we want you to take the stand and say how you feel or whether you feel like
and say
scared.
what?
I guess there's nothing really to say, right?
Fuck, I'm gonna say I never heard it.
Well, now that you heard it now.
No, you're missing the point. He has to say it to me. Big U has never told me these words. He know not to tell me these words. I can make a call right now and show you why he know not to threaten me like that. That man know me, bro. See, you got to think about it. They talk that valley shit now, right? But y'all leader come to the valley, nigga. Why? You ain't never heard nobody say what Big U did for Wack. You got to. Wack got some say-so. Call Wack. He'll listen to Wack. That man know if he ever mention them words to me of a threat about what he gonna do to me, he know what time it is. Straight up. He know. But again, this is why, Vlad, and I'm a big guy in my head. But they make me even bigger because they put this shit out there and people be like, okay, Wack, let's talk. And I'll be like, okay, let's go. And you play that shit, and I know you, because if you would have heard that shit prior, it would have been a different approach. You listening to this, you're like, wait, hold up. It's saying Big U's talking to somebody saying what he want to do, which means it's never happened. And these people are saying, well, he never said these words to Wack100. And he ends and says, which means Wack100 is going to have to get on the stand and say what? What the fuck am I going to say? Yeah. The man never said the words to me, he never touched me. And say what? Well, now that we've read you or played, let's go with your scenario.
Yeah.
Wack comes in. We want to play you something. And they play the wiretap. Mm-hmm. What are they going to ask me? While this man's sitting in the federal fucking prison? Are you scared now?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And I'm going to be real. I think the federal government know that wouldn't be a plus to their case because they know what I'm going to do, what I'm not going to do. I'm pretty sure they know that. The last time they contacted me, the shit went on the internet.
Let me ask you a question. If you got a call from the feds.
I did already.
About this case?
No, not about this case. Last call I got was about Jay Prince.
Okay.
I put it on the internet. You ain't never heard that shit? Google it. It's 10, 12 minutes. Yeah, straight up. Didn't play with it. I'll send it to you. It's on my phone right now.
You recorded it?
What? ASAP. And if I didn't record it, because I had no idea that Big U and Jay Prince was intertwining. Just 2 months ago, when I recorded this shit was July 2022. I'm gonna send it to you so you can play it.
Okay.
It's on there, right? You can, if you go in there and Google it, you'll pull it because it's been up for 4 years.
Okay.
Wack100 federal call, right?
Oh.
Larry Hoover. Crip Mac, Larry Hoover.
Yes, sir. And James Prince Sr.?
I mean, I wouldn't have no information other than just we helping with a Larry Hoover project.
Okay. Yes, sir. Well, that's what I'm kind of wanting to talk to you about.
Okay. Well, what's wrong with me working on a Larry Hoover project?
No, sir. No, nothing's wrong whatsoever with it. I'm glad someone is advocating for him. That wasn't the issue. I was just information has been provided that you've had some disagreements with Mr. Prince. Are you familiar with him?
I mean, I know who he is, but I don't have no issues with Mr. Prince.
Okay. So,
I mean, a disagreement is a disagreement. I don't know how that factors in the FBI.
But when I first initially put it up, right, everybody said Wack's lying. Right? Here you go, Vlad. I'm going to send it to you right now, live. Wack's lying. It's going to your phone right now, full audio.
Okay.
Now, if you go pull the paperwork up, it's going to say July 27, 2022. So 2 months ago, the paperwork comes out. It says, when having a federal call, calling Wack100, right? We've learned that we can't call him because within 24 hours, he put it on the internet. Now imagine if I wouldn't have put that shit on the internet and then this federal paperwork is saying we contacted Wack100 and had a call with Wack100 and that's it. What would the narrative be?
You're cooperating.
Booyah. But because I put it on the internet, right? Because I put the shit on the internet, everybody's like, oh shit, Wack wasn't lying. And see, one thing about this, Vlad, you can't lie about the dates. Look at the date. 8 times and dates it.
Let's say July
27,
2022.
And guess what the paperwork says? On July 27th, we contacted Wack100.
There's
right?
important.
Now, if I wouldn't have put that damn call up, bro, right now today, and this is to the fucking FBI. Why did he do it? Because shit that y'all do will directly affect a person that's innocent of the bullshit. Because how these people gonna read it, and when they gonna run with it, I get a motherfucking life took. If I wouldn't have did what I did and put it up, everybody was like, oh man, that shit fake. Oh, he had somebody, he paid a white lady to pose like she was a federal agent. And this. When it came out, it just came out 2026, 2 months ago. It showed where Big U went to go meet Jay Prince and boom, 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 boom. So now they're crossing Houston feds, well, whatever going on out here, I don't know what they got going on, right? But when them wiretaps come out, because they worried about them wiretaps, because I got a Houston back door over there that's vicious. He tell me everything they doing before they do it. I go online to Clubhouse and tell them when they having their meetings, where they gonna have their meetings, and everything going on. It pisses him off and it rattles his cages. If I wouldn't have did what I did, when people's in, they like, yo, Wack put that call out, bro. He put that shit up. In the federal paperwork, it said, we learned that calling him doesn't do us no justice because within 24 hours, the whole call was on the internet. This may possibly breach or warn people. See, when you working with them and cooperate with them, you don't do that. But I'm not no damn fool. Even at the end, she says, well, if it's something else come up, we'll give you a call back. Absolutely not. Call my legal. His name is Alex Kessel. Contact him, he can contact me. So, you know, I'm so used to it coming at me somehow, some way. Anything my name is in, Vlad, they hate me so much. They praying on my downfall so much. You are sitting there, I know in the back of your mind, you're saying, idiot, you can't read? Wack didn't hear this, he wasn't touched. This is a private call with Big U and somebody else. He could have been talking to you, Vlad. He could have been talking to whoever. How does that lead to, at some point, Wack100 got to take the stand? About what?
Yeah. No, I feel you. I got it. I believe you.
No, it's right there. Shit.
It's right there. No, I agree. Last question before I let you go. We're going to switch seats. Game said that he blames Funk Flex for the G-Unit split because Flex asked him when he was on the radio how he felt about Jadakiss and Nas, and Game felt he couldn't lie at that moment. And remember, at that time, 50 was beefing with Jadakiss and Nas, so 50 took it as a disloyalty situation, and that's what caused him to kick Game out of G-Unit, and that went on.
I could be wrong, but I thought 50 wanted Game to diss Fat Joe. And Game said, I'm not dissing Fat Joe. Me and Fat Joe is cool. I don't know about the Jadakiss and Nas shit. Game respects Jadakiss and Nas. I don't really remember that conversation, but I thought he wanted to pick a side and diss Fat Joe, and Game wouldn't do it. And you look up many moons later, and he was like, you do something like that when you have no reason to, and then they get cool. Now you the one on the outside looking crazy, as we see Fat Joe and 50 are cool, right? So if Game would have went along with that and did that, that's a relationship he would have lost. It's tied to other relationships he had, Cool and Dre, so on and so forth. And then even right now to this day, him and Fat Joe wouldn't be as cool as they are because he sided with 50 on something that had nothing to do with him. So I don't know. You know, Game knows more about Game than anybody, but I thought the majority of it was when he wanted him to diss Fat Joe. And he wouldn't. And at that point, it was like, fuck you.
I think this was part of it. And I guess what Game was saying, that at that moment, it was a no-win situation because it's like, am I going to be fake and side with 50 because I really have no problems with, Nas and Jadakiss and I respect them as lyricists? Or am I going to be real and say I ain't got no problems with them and then that's going to upset 50? Ultimately, knowing 50, from a distance, me and him have had conversations. Yeah. We know each other, but we haven't been around each other. I'm not going to say I know him like that. Tony Yayo I know very well, obviously, right? But knowing 50 through my limited interactions and everything that I get from Tony Yayo, no matter what would have happened, I don't think Game would have ended up in G-Unit long term. I just don't see it happening.
Well, I'm gonna be real.
The personalities just don't mesh.
I'm gonna be real from what I know. Game, he's a watcher. He'll sit back, won't say nothing. He watches everything. I got a poker face. He got a crazy poker face. Like, he can be around people that he know is doing some crazy, crazy shit. He'll never show it. What Game noticed is that Tony Yayo, Banks, these is all dudes from this dude's backyard. Well as Buck. 50 runs his shit with an iron fist. He would tell people ain't no features, ain't no doing no clubs for the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So Game is like, if these dudes is only here because he won't let them get here and they from here, who the fuck am I?
Well, Young Buck is from a totally different.
No, but Yayo and
Yayo Banks,
and Banks,
Queens.
right?
Yeah, from Queens.
Who the fuck am I? He knew that staying up under that umbrella, he was gonna be suppressed. He knew that. What he also knew is he had something they didn't have. At this time, Tennessee wasn't put in position to fight New York. There's only one place that could fight New York at that time.
Right, L.A.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He knew that. So he knew, long as he made it back home and did what he did, it was. And then at this point in time, we got to give credit where credit's due. He got one of the biggest gangsters from New York as his manager.
Jimmy Henchman. Yeah.
The perfect combination. I got a coast that'll fight your coast, and I got a manager that's internally more gangster than you when it comes to the streets. Right? So it worked. So I think Game realized that was gonna be short-lived any goddamn way.
Yeah, I think with 50, 50 requires someone that has 100% loyalty, like a Tony Yayo or an Uncle Murder. That's why the three of them seem to get along cool. When you put in like a Lloyd Banks or a Young Buck or whoever else, a Spider Loke or, all these people that kind of came and went through the G-Unit umbrella.
Buck ain't loyal.
Well, no, what I'm saying is these guys are not going to be like a Yayo.
I would have respected Buck if he said, fuck 50, went back to Tennessee, Nashville, whatever, and did his thing, created his movement. But when I walked in motherfucking Encore Studios and seen this nigga standing in, listen, man, let me tell you something. This when Game had to really flex on us. We like, nigga, what? That's the same nigga running around telling DJs, turn your music off. But because now 50 did what he did with him, nigga over here in the studio with you. Like, yo, so when I didn't have, that's why I don't respect Buck like that, because it's like, my nigga, you was just over there telling niggas to turn this nigga music off in the studio. Now 50 did whatever he did with you, and now you over there you in Game studio. Talking about I'm with you, I'm riding with you. Banks, Buck, no, not Buck, but Banks got a bad deal, and I feel kind of responsible for it. Because I think his down his fallout with 50 started with Game and even doing some shit I did. And I had
the photo?
Yeah, I swear, we had no ill intentions. We in Dubai, we at the end of one of Game's tour, we always ended in Dubai. I get a call from the promoter, my man Frenchie. And Frenchie I said, Frenchie, you gonna meet us at the spot? He said, I gotta go over here with Banks. I said, oh, Banks in town? He like, yeah. He said, I got over with Banks, he's hosting over here, then I'll be over there to y'all. So I tell Game, I said, yo, Banks in town. Game always said he ain't had no issue with Banks. I said, shit, maybe we go over there, pull up on him, y'all have a conversation. And we didn't go with no aggression, we didn't go with no plot or no plan to trip, nothing. When we walked in, Banks in a big-ass VIP with like 3-4 people with him. We on tour, so we like 30 deep. We walked in, we let Game run. I think I walked in, I went to VIP. I said, yo, Game wanna have a word with you. It's all love. We ain't here for no problems, no beef. He just wanna have a word with you. And he looked, and I'm gonna be real, I think in Banks' defense, he looking at 30 niggas in front of him, figuring like, shit, if I say no, it might be a problem. For real though. Even though I promise you,
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Wasn't no press, wasn't none of that. He like, cool, Game went in there, they talked, maybe 5-10 minutes, wasn't no aggression, nothing. We kicked it with him for about 20 minutes. We had to get back to our own thing. They snapped the picture, we got on. But what's crazy is, maybe a year or two after that, I orchestrated the same shit with 50.
Oh yeah, 15 Game talked.
I orchestrated that with Monster when Monster was head of security.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the strip
Yeah,
club.
but you guys did take pictures together and all that.
I mean, bro, we in motherfucking, I forget that strip club that was, whatever that was down there. The one in West Hollywood.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one upstairs. We in the strip club. I tell Monster, Game wanna holler at 50. He said, Wack, that shit ain't gonna happen. We in this motherfucking thing, this, that, all that's gonna happen. There's too many people in there. I said, I'm gonna bring Game over here, just me and him. Monster, what we gonna do? You stand behind Game, I stand behind 50, and let them have their conversation. He went over there, hollered at Game at 50. 50 don't know me through the G Unit Black Wall Street beef. 50 knows me through DJ K Slay.
Mm.
So when he sees my face, he know I stand with Game, but he know I was never part of that. So he like Wack, and he know me and Monster got a close-knit relationship because Monster's family is my security in New York, BPE, $8 in them. So he know it's never no bullshit with me. And even today, even more because me and Uncle Murder so close, right? So he like, cool. So me and Game came to their area and they talked. I don't know what the fuck they talked about. I couldn't hear it, but it was cool, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I just think 50 didn't authorize Banks to do that. But I feel bad about it because we went over with good intentions to try to rebuild and we like, okay, Banks here, cool. I'm already talking to bro, Murder. Murder didn't have nothing to do with that shit like I didn't either. So I got Murder there. Me and your guy, we straight because of 50. K Slay used to always have us on the Straight Stunt magazine. I met him through Slay. You know what I mean? He'll tell you, you'll never hear him say nothing fucked up about me. We always been cool. Like I could never say nothing bad about Tony Yayo. Like we always been cool. I met him with Slay. We kicked it 4-5 hours on the yacht up and down the Hudson. A couple times we've been cool. So my thing was to bring it back to have a G Unit real tour. That's what I was working on.
That would have been great.
But the shit backfired. Fifth seen it the way he seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And even after him and Game talked, I don't know, I woke up one morning and Fifth dropped a diss song. I forget what it was called. So Disrespect some shit. And then Game released, which is really believable now, the phone number to the chick, the Diddy chick. You don't remember that? Yeah, Game released the last 4 of the phone number.
Okay.
It says stay in your place.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't remember that shit?
I remember some of it, but
yeah, all
you're
that,
going to a level of detail.
All that started happening. I'm sitting there like, damn, I was this close.
This close to a reunion. Yeah. But, you know, 50 gonna be 50 and 50 don't. Listen, man, we've earned places in our lives from our hard work that we get to do what we want to do. And if we're not feeling it, we're not feeling it. Doesn't matter what the check is about, because these checks really don't move the needle in our lives.
Yeah.
Everyone wants an extra check, but they don't move our needles. So at the end of the day, 50 gonna be 50.
That's fair.
Game's gonna be game. Bank's gonna be banks, man. Shout out to everyone involved. And maybe one day there is a reunion.
I got to ask Game about that. I'm gonna call Flex too.
Yeah.
You ever interviewed Flex?
I have, a long time ago.
Yeah, I got to call, because I don't, what did Game say? Game say respect Nas and them, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he didn't want to get in the middle of it, and he didn't know how to answer, so he just was truthful about it. Right? He could have been like, fuck Nas, fuck Jada, this G Unit. But he didn't want to do that.
He wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.